a timer
Good.
or anything because I don't pay for this, but we're live. So here
Yes,
we
you are.
go. Welcome to Casual AF 11. Thanks for coming, everyone. Good to see you. I hope you're all doing well. I'm here with the undeniable Craig Bragg.
Undeniable. Thank you. How are you tonight, sir?
I'm living the dream. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right.
Good, good. Good to hear, Uh we got like no topics lined up. We tried to line up a couple just before we went live and realized we were late. So
Well, it is casual AF, right? So the
it's
whole
pretty
thing should be casual. You don't need
pretty fucking
banners.
rough.
We'll just fucking grab. We'll just gab for an hour and a half, 2 hours, whatever.
I mean, even as fancy shirts go, it's pretty fucking casual. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
One
my
of my
my
favorite.
fancy shirt has a stain on it. That's why
Oh,
Twin said, "Just zip up your fucking coat, man." I'm like, "Yeah, that's how casual we are here. I don't even go and change my shirt."
oh, and I should have said something earlier. So I did have some people over. We got into the wine,
Oh,
uh,
nice.
and I still have a couple of fucking beers left over.
That's all right. Who
So
was over? Just family or?
yeah, sister and brother-in-law and whatnot. But yeah, but don't worry, they're road beers. They're they're fine.
They're road beers,
Yeah,
meaning.
they're like 3.5%. They're fine for driving.
Okay, they're road beers. I get you now. All right. Yeah, Melina says the party is still going. So my wife's at a party tonight with her friend's birthday. Says we'll probably be here longer. We'll be driving her friend home most likely. All right, that's fine. We can stay. We can talk all night. Except we made a plan. The wife and I made a plan tomorrow. She's got to go to Costco, and I got to go work out. So tomorrow we're going for breakfast. I'm going to load up on the protein, get some good carbs into me, and then she's going to drop me off at the gym, and then she's going to go to Costco, and she's going to come back an hour later and pick me up. So I'm only going to work out for an hour. I don't need. How long do you normally work out for when you're at the gym?
My gym is so it's shameful. I go to fucking Planet Fitness.
Whatever. Gym's a gym, man.
No, it's a terrible gym. It doesn't have a proper squat rack, proper bench press. There's only Smith machines, so that's a little bit shitty. Because you never really know
And
what
their
you're
and
actually
their
doing.
walls are purple and yellow.
Yeah, it's fucking. Oh,
I mean, that would be the thing that would turn me off of Planet Fitness. It's a fucking eyesore just to be in there.
it really is. Like even the machines are purple. It's
Oh my
fucking
god,
yeah. It's
that's fucking.
terrible. And they've got this weird fucking thing about how like Planet Fitness means no critics, right? Not so late and still super straight. Good to see you, Pox.
Hey,
Yeah,
Pox.
welcome. And like, oh, no critics, all right? Like we don't critique people for their bodies or their weakness at the working out, right? But they do have this thing called the lunk alarm,
Yeah, if you
where
drop a barbell too heavy, it goes
if
off.
you drop your weights to no, it doesn't go off. Someone has to activate it
Oh,
manually. All right. But like if you're working out really hard and grunting in a way because you're, pushing yourself, that people might, I don't know, feel threatened or something, they
oh
can
Christ.
activate the lung. It's like, yeah, no critics. We accept all body types except those dirty fucking meatheads. Like, like, fucking, it's so stupid. It's so ass backwards, right?
It sounds like, yeah, it sounds like purple hair is why they chose purple.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, the place I'm at is very fancy. It's very high end. It's called Movati Fitness. Have you heard of Movati?
it sounds familiar.
Yeah, it's basically it's for suburban housewives who
Okay.
want to hang out with their friends in tights and be catty to one another. No, I'm not. I'm just joking. It's a full fledged athletic facility. It's got pools. It's got machines. It's got free weights. It's got cardio areas. It's got places for floor exercise. It's a really good place. It's just you walk in there and you're like, wow, this is like fancy. I almost feel like I'm in a spa.
Do you have a squat rack?
I think we do. He hasn't put me on squats yet. He says I want you to make sure you can do squats, normally with low weights before I put a bar on your back and risk injuring you.
Hmm.
So So I'm sure they do have a squat rack. They do, and basically everything they have that is free weight, they also have it on a machine. So I was using the bench press machine the other day,
Yeah.
as opposed to an actual bench, right? I was using the leg press as opposed to, uh, well, I guess they're all leg presses are always done with machines, I guess, but this one, had the stacks of bricks of weights as opposed to like other types of weights.
Yeah, like, I mean, the leg press is basically a squat, right?
Yeah, only squats you need are sumo and Romanian deadlifts.
Get the fuck out of here with that shit.
Romanian deadlifts, eh? I do squats with a kettlebell, and he had me doing squats with a kettlebell and a pallet press. So squat, rise, take the kettlebell that I'm holding here and hold it, push it out, and bring it back, and then do another squat. And I was able to do. I want to say it was 16 kilograms. It might have only been 12. I don't know, but I was able to do 3 sets of 15. So I'm happy about that. And he was like remarking on my form. Yes, good form. Yes, good, because like the first time I did it, I was bending at my leg. I was using my legs more than my hips. I didn't have my ass out the right way. But anyway,
That that's why I believe deadlift belongs on leg day. People will fight me on this.
deadlift belongs on leg day.
Yep.
I'm not sure what you mean by that.
Okay, so you were talking about squats,
Yeah.
and you're using your thigh too much and not squeezing with the hips forward.
Right.
Deadlift is the same movement.
Yeah.
You're pushing your hips forward to do a deadlift. You don't pull with your back the way it looks like you're doing. You're
Yeah.
pushing forward with hips.
Yeah.
So it's hip centric. It belongs on leg day.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jeezy says, I skip the gym. I run up 1,000 foot tall mountain trail almost every day. That's
There you
great.
go.
I've gone from less than 6,000 steps a day to over 10,000 steps a day for the last week and a bit. So, and I missed one day. I was 500 shy on one day, but every other
500
day,
steps
yeah,
shy.
500. It's like fuck.
That's not bad. You could have worse. You could have worse setbacks. Like
Yeah.
take that one, take it, and move forward.
Oh,
So
and I'm not upset about it. I'm just putting that caveat out there. I have to take this jacket off, man. It's
okay.
sweating me. It's so hot. It's like it doesn't breathe at all. I think I got it in Florida. I'm like, why would I buy this in Florida? I think I bought it was on sale at Costco or something. Anyway, I will be right back. You have to carry the stream while I slip into something more comfortable.
Sure, sure. I'll just carry on the old man fitness stream,
There you go.
because we've been doing past couple of streams discussing old man fitness. Things like volume over time under tension, right? You don't need to do high intensity at our age, You're not trying to just cram it all in. If you're out of shape, but you could do 10 push-ups, you should just do 10 push-ups. And then later on in the day, do 10 more. Later on in the day, do 10 more. Aim for 100 in the day. I know a guy who used to weigh 300 plus pounds. He lost over 120 pounds doing that until he started cramming his push-ups closer and closer together. And now he's like 180 something, and yeah, can drop and do 100 push-ups. And he does multiple sets of 100 push-ups through the day now. So really, yeah, right. And in his 30s already, and he was like 300 pounds, and he started that way. So, you know, you don't have to kill yourself. You just have to do something. Something is always better than nothing. We were even talking about those little apps that count your steps, because I have a pretty physical job and there's a lot of walking involved. And I realized even on a slow day, I'm doing almost 20,000 steps, and it says it's like 900 calories burned just from the walking, let alone any of the actual work that you're doing along the way. So, uh, you know, 900 calories walking.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
I ordered a Fitbit too, so that I can track my calories burned. It tracks when my heart rate goes up and down. It also uh, tracks how well I sleep, and will track
oh yeah.
my oxygen levels, so that like if I stop breathing in the middle of the night, which is why I have sleep apnea, then it'll let me know when I look at it the next morning. Hey, you stopped breathing 5 times last night. So that's pretty cool. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, no, it's useful tools, right?
Yep.
But the most important thing, move,
Yep.
right?
And that's the problem. I work at a desk and I'm sedentary most of the day. So 4 o'clock, I get up and I go for a walk with the dog, at least, which is at least 1,500 steps, more like 2,000. And then I'll have dinner and I'll take it for another walk. And then if I'm shy, I'll either go to the gym or go for another walk. So,
Yeah, dog's got to be loving it too, eh?
oh yeah, she
One
does.
extra walk,
She
let's
doesn't
go.
like it when I'm like I'm walking and she stops to sniff something and I'm like, come on, I gotta go.
I need my
What?
steps, bitch.
Yeah, exactly. And what I'm doing is if she's stopping to like pee or take a dump, I'll walk back and forth 3 steps because those count, right?
Yeah.
So Craig Bragg doesn't need to breathe. Yeah, I wish that'd be awesome. Hey, let's stop talking about this gay fitness shit.
No, I like this gay fitness shit. You know why? Because past couple weeks, I've just like I've been working really hard to get back into it, and it doesn't show like
Right.
through a shirt or on camera or whatever. I know nobody can fucking tell, but yeah, like
Well,
I hit some pretty
you
hard.
weren't in bad shape to begin with. Like you don't have a gut like I do.
Uh, Not since we met, but like there was a time where I was much heavier
Yeah.
than I am now. And like okay, so like I'm not a big dude. I'm like 5'10",
Yeah.
and my high school weight was always like 140, 145.
Yeah.
And then one day I was 32 maybe, got on the scale and I was 210.
Wow.
Yeah, and like the reason I got on the scale was because I stepped out of the shower one day and in the mirror I saw something jiggle. Like I was always like a skinny dude and pretty
Yeah.
athletic, like martial arts and stuff,
Yeah.
and then like just wiry. And I was like, "What the fuck did I just see in the mirror?" And I went and stepped on the scale. It was really like I
It's
was like,
weird. And you know
that's
what?
not
You don't even realize your metabolism slowed down until it fucking stops.
it wasn't even that. I had become sedentary. I wasn't
Uh,
doing martial arts anymore. I wasn't being like, "Oh, yeah, let's go shoot some hoops," just for fun,
yeah.
right? I was walking the dog and that was it.
Yeah.
Maybe wrestling with the dog, and that was my exercise, and not nearly enough apparently because he's lazy too, right? Like, so yeah, I started doing some research, right? You're not allowed to call it that anymore because you're not a scientist. If you read information, it's not research.
Of
You're
course
not a
it is.
scientist. You don't have like a burner. You can't cook up a cure for obesity.
Even reading something's research. Who says it's not
Yeah,
research?
experts say. So don't do your own research.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No, that's right.
So
It's
yeah. So
illegal for you to have these documents, but it's different for us because we're journalists.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I hear you.
Yeah. And from what I surmised, we know very little about actual nutrition, but we do know about patterns.
Yeah,
And the pattern that stood out was before, say, 1900, people in the Western world ate about 4.5 pounds of sugar a year.
yeah.
Today, the average person eats over 100 pounds of sugar a year,
Not,
and obesity is a fucking epidemic.
yeah, and not me anymore. I've cut it out completely.
Yeah,
Completely.
it's so hard to do it, right? Once you start looking, everything that you have to open the cardboard or peel the cellophane,
Yeah,
it's loaded with sugar,
yeah,
all of it,
yeah.
all of it.
I will qualify that. Uh, After dinner tonight and after my walk, I had an ice cream sandwich. It's 180 calories. It has a lot of sugar. It has like I think 12 grams of sugar, which is quite a bit. But when you consider I haven't had any sugar at all for 2 weeks, that's not so bad. And I don't feel like I need another one now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, I talked to my trainer about cheat days. He's like, you know what? Just concentrate on eating clean, so nothing processed,
Yeah.
and like don't worry about cheat days until you're at that point where you feel like you've gotten healthier. Like, okay, good point. But I decided, you know what? I'm gonna make Saturday is my cheat day in the sense that I will have one indulgent snack and just one. Like, I'm not gonna eat a fucking pile of Oreos. I'm not gonna eat two ice cream sandwiches. I'm not gonna eat a bag of chips. I'll eat a cup of air pop popcorn. That's my fucking cheat. You know what I mean? Or I'll eat an ice cream sandwich. That's 150 calories. That's my cheat.
Yeah. Yeah, like, I mean, I ended up cutting out sugar entirely. Like, entirely, as in to the best of the human capacity.
Sure. Yeah.
Like, 100 grams of rice has zero point 0.1 grams of sucrose in it, okay?
Sure. Sure.
So,
I mean, when I say sugar, I mean
yeah,
refined sugar or things that are sweetened with sugar. So
yeah.
when I drink coffee, it's sweetener. It's no sugar sweetener.
Well, I mean,
Uh,
this coffee's black, right? I
yeah.
started drinking my
I
coffee black.
I drink it black with a sweetener. It used to be black with sugar. I've been using a sweetener forever now. So
I had even cut out fruit because I realized all the micronutrients, your vitamins and minerals, you can get them from vegetables,
yeah, but
right?
they're
That
not
have
sweet.
little to no sugar, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So, uh, in the first 10 days I was doing this, I lost 10 pounds.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was fucking nuts. I was like, "How is this happening?" And I was like, "Sugar is pure fucking evil."
It is. It's
And
fucking poison.
it was hard. Like,
Do
I
you know
was
how refined? Do you know what the reason for refined sugar? Why refined sugar was made?
no idea.
So it was originally invented as a cheap uh, uh, food for hogs. They wanted to have some sort of like
Right.
one some sort of like,
And
they
it
make kibble
fattens
for
them right
dogs.
up.
Yeah, and they tried testing feeding hogs only sugar, and they'd eat it, and they'd come back to the trough for it, but then they all fucking died because it's poison, right?
Pretty much, yeah, like, it's an addictive chemical,
That's right.
right? And, I being a smoker, I knew exactly what was happening when I was the first couple of days, first week, that at towards the end of the day, I was starting to get the shakes, like, vibrating violently and just, like, craving it so badly. I was
Yeah.
like, "That's not right." Like, that's not "I'm hungry." That's a craving like I have for a cigarette.
Hmm.
It was so and I fought it so hard, and yeah, 10 days, lost 10 pounds, continued on that for a solid 6 months,
Yep.
and lost almost 60 pounds in
That's
6
awesome, man.
months. Yeah, it was and I've kept most of that off. Like, right now, I weigh about between 160 and 165, but I bottomed out at 151.
Wow, I'd kill for that. Actually, I think if I were weighing 151, because I'm 6'2", if I
Yeah,
weighed 151, I would be malnourished. I'd look like a Holocaust survivor, um, even if it wasn't real.
no.
Um, the
Your first goal should be 200. Right.
Yes, that's right. Because right now I'm 239, and I used to be 250. There was a time I was 250, and yeah, I want to get down to 200 and get rid of the belly fat. I have a compression shirt that I can wear under the tights if I can't get rid of all the belly fat, but I'm going to do my darndest. I don't even need a six pack. I just want to get rid of the spare tire. You know what I mean? I
Yeah,
just want to get rid of the love handles and the gut. And even if I'm a little bit have a little bit of like subcutaneous fat there, I'm fine with that. It's getting rid of the visceral fat, and it's getting rid of the visible roundness of that area that I want to concentrate on. So,
yeah.
and of course, building the shoulders because I already have broad shoulders, and if they were round and they would
Muscular?
muscular. They would. They, I mean, I'd look like a fucking monster. So that's the plan anyway. Shoulders,
Overhead
chest.
press.
What's that?
Overhead
I've
press.
been doing it at my desk at work. I just like I have are like tiny sort of like fitness dumbbells. They're not the like they're 10 pounds. So I lean back in my chair and I do overhead press with the dumbbells. I'll do 20 repetitions and I'll do as many sets as I can do in like an afternoon. Like I'll
Yeah.
just keep coming back to it every once in a while. So like I don't take a 30-second break and then start again. I'll do 20, then I'll help an agent out, and then I'm not doing anything right now. Okay, I'll do another 20, and it starts to hurt, But I saw something online that your body when you're using low weights, like low weights, your body's going to engage the smallest of the muscles first and start tearing at them and rebuilding them. Only when those are like torn up and used up will it start going into the larger weight. So you can still build muscle with low weights, but you just have to do a hell of a lot more reps. And you have to do to the point of failure kind of thing. Like you have
Yeah,
to
and
ache those things out kind of thing.
it's like also like conditioning, right? Like you can toughen yourself to be able to push harder at higher weights by doing high rep, low weight. Like
Right.
you make the muscles ready for that kind of work. Like
Right.
you
Right.
jump into heavy weights, you can hurt yourself. It's possible, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, conditioning, toughening a little bit with
Yeah.
that is very useful. But yeah, yeah.
We got a few comments here that we've been kind of ignoring.
No, yeah, Jeezy's gonna he got permits to run up Mount Whitney this October.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah. Tallest
Yeah.
mountain in the 48 states.
It's in California. So Costin says, I got to cut out the sugar, but he won't use sweeteners. See, the thing is, I like sweet things. And I can do sweeteners. It's not a big deal. I don't think they're bad for you. As a matter of fact, any fitness video you watch, say no, like there's nothing wrong with using 0-calorie sweeteners to sweeten something up. But I don't know.
Yeah, like I mean, there's a lot of talk about like say aspartame in particular, right?
Mhm.
Now I know we have a lot of reason to not trust the FDA these days, but aspartame is the single most tested product in the history of the FDA.
Yeah.
It's been tested like more than 60 times in 35 years or whatever
Wow.
because people keep saying it puts holes in your brain and like it murders children, it
Yeah.
rapes wives, like
No, you
whatever.
idiot. It's the fluoride. Quit fucking
Yeah.
drinking the tap water. It's the fluoride that's doing that to you.
The thing is,
Stevia, says Jeezy. Yeah, a lot of stuff is sweetened with stevia now. And the
yeah,
cool thing is, stevia tastes a hell of a lot more like sugar than sugar. Than any of the other. I don't mean sugar, but than any of the other sweeteners. It actually
sweeteners, yeah.
really close. Which
Well,
is
that's great.
why I. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, apparently, it is like naturally sourced. It's something that grows. You don't have to synthesize it, so
Yeah,
you
it
don't have
comes
to
from.
worry
It
too
comes
much,
from.
right?
It's like refined from bananas as opposed to cane.
But yeah, like the aspartame thing, it's like for some reason people just go ahead and assume that aspartame producers would happily give your children cancer, but a multi-billion-dollar refined sugar industry wouldn't smear its only competition,
Right.
right? And the other problem is, sure, maybe aspartame isn't exactly good for you, but if you're a diabetic, well, sugar's fucking literally poison,
Right.
right? So what are you gonna do? You know, like there's a trade-off, you know. And I mean, like, I drink aspartame basically every fucking day, and I might be retarded. A lot of people seem to think I am. So,
No.
you know, maybe the aspartame's punched holes in my brain now, but
I've
I
cut
would
out.
blame the
I've
alcohol
I've
personally.
cut out. Like I used to drink like diet soda a lot. Like I would get like
Yeah.
the Pepsi Max or the Coke Zero or whatever, the ones that taste more like the actual Coke and Pepsi. And I would go through 5-6 cans in a night. And now I might have one every 3 days. Everything else is water.
Well,
So
I'll tell you this: it doesn't matter if the aspartame is bad for you, putting holes in your brain. Cutting out pop and all the crap that's in it, even if it's not sugar, is still good for you, right?
yeah,
Drink more water, drink less pop. I'm never going to tell you that's a bad idea.
no. And we've got these little these little squeeze balls with flavor shots in them. They're 0 calorie, and I'm like, oh, perfect. And it tastes like fucking watermelon. So I like watermelon. Throw that in my water, and I'm fine. So, and I asked my trainer, hey, because they've got a booster juice downstairs at the club
Oh
at
yeah,
the athletic the gym. They got a Starbucks and a booster juice, right? So after a workout, typically I'll grab one of their protein shakes.
that is a fancy gym.
It's very fancy. And so I asked them, I asked my trainer, hey, is it okay? Like, am I undoing all this work if I go and have a protein shake right after this? No, 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 that's fine. Go ahead. Because it's all good stuff in there, right? And they use low calorie stuff. They use low fat stuff. It's mostly protein and either fruit juice or water or milk. And you can get almond milk if you prefer almond milk. But almond milk isn't milk. It's juice.
What the fuck is almond milk? Almonds ain't got titties.
That's right. You can't milk a fucking almond. You can grind it up and turn it into juice, though.
Uh,
Yeah, water's good for you. And
yeah,
it's what our bodies were designed to drink. It wasn't designed to drink anything else, really.
that's true. Yeah.
Says the guy who vapes.
No, no. Our bodies were designed to consume alcohol.
Nope.
Water is just a means to clear, like, to refresh for more
That's right.
alcohol.
That's right. It's just a flushing liquid. Oh.
Yeah, beer is proof that God loves us and wants us to be happy.
Then why did the Irish invent it?
No, no, they invented whiskey, I think.
Oh, that's right. They invented whiskey.
No, wait, God invented whiskey so the Irish wouldn't rule the world.
There you go. Remember that Family Guy episode? Ireland before they discovered alcohol. It was like, fucking Wakanda. It was all shit. Look what I've created. They drank it, and then all of a sudden they're like fucking fighting each other, and everything's just turns to shit.
And yeah, just be more mobile. That's all.
Yep, that's
Stay
what I'm trying to do. Got to keep
moving.
at it. 7 months will shoot by. Fucking flash if I don't take advantage of every minute I can. So
God invented the Irish so they could give the world whiskey.
there you
go.
So what else do you want to talk about?
I hit a bunch of PRs. I'm pretty pleased.
PRs?
Personal records.
Oh, there you go. Nice.
So yeah, added 10 pounds to my squat, 10 pounds
Nice.
to my leg extension, and 10 pounds to my leg curls, all on the same day. Like just was feeling like, holy shit, can I push more? I can push more. I threw weight up on there. I was working in with some. It's so weird. I go to the gym so often now that I now have gym buddies. Like dudes,
Oh,
I
nice.
don't even know their names, but we've seen each other a few times, had a short chats, and now it's like, hey man, how's it going? Right?
That's cool. I mean,
weird.
you go enough,
Yeah,
right?
I'm
People
that
start to
douchebag
recognize
now.
you, right?
What's that?
I made the mistake the other day while I was doing squats. There was another trainer with a young girl. He was helping her out, and he bumped something into the area where we were exercising, and so that caused me to strike up a conversation. No, no, don't worry, it's okay, I'm fine, or whatever. And then I made the mistake of saying, "Yeah, I gotta look like Captain America by December 1st." And he's like, "Oh," and I said, "Otherwise, Chevy's gonna give me all my money back." And he's like, "Oh, really? Did you sign up for that, Chevy?" Anyway, and I said, he says, "Oh, well, I'm looking forward to that. Hey, Halloween's just before December. You got to come dressed up as Captain America." And I was thinking about, wouldn't it be funny if I get to a point by October 31st where I could put on the Canada Man uniform and go to the fucking gym and like run on the treadmill and sit down on like the what do you call it, the bench press machine and bench press? That'd be funny.
Jeezy just burned the shit out of me.
Gym buddies. Normally they're just called boyfriends. Well, that's what they call gay church, right? The gym. It's gay church. It's where gays go and hang out and fucking worship.
but I was just working in with this dude, and don't have a squat rack. It's Planet fucking Fitness. It's cheap though. So I'm in the Smith machine and I'm doing my what I think is my last set of what is my current max. I was like, wait a minute, those reps went pretty easy. Like
Better do more.
I've got another one in me. Let's throw a 5 on each side and go again. And I did it.
Nice.
Squeezed out 6 reps for 10 extra pounds.
Well, I've been doing
Yeah,
leg
how it feels.
presses last couple of weeks with Chevy. He's my trainer, and he's been doing I want to say 70 pounds on my legs, which doesn't seem like a lot. And by the third set, it's getting hard, but I can still do my full 15.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go in tomorrow and I'm going to set it to 90 or 100, whatever it is, right? And see how if I can do 3 sets of 15. See what I can do.
You do it graduated.
Oh,
Wha-
start with 70,
Yeah.
then do 80, and then do 90.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that might
And
be
even
better.
if you have to lower the reps as you move up in weight, that's fine. That's
Yeah,
actually
so if I can
expected,
only do
right?
12, then so be it.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
that's not a
that
bad idea.
progressive weight is
Progressive loading, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So okay, so that's the fitness half hour.
Yeah, it has been 30 minutes. We've been talking about gay gym stuff.
So where should we start? Okay. So I saw this it, it is Censor the Heretics night, right?
Right.
So I wanted to share this so there's C11 in Canada, the censorship bill, the internet censorship bill, and there's also this thing that I saw, I think this was actually just today on Twitter from the fucking UN, and I just really wanted to share it because it is so fucking stupid. Hate speech can take many forms, but no matter what it looks like, hate speech has real consequences.
Uh,
Learn how you can take action and say hashtag no to hate. Okay. It's not just a comment. Now, I want people to take special note of this.
oh, I didn't even notice that before. That's fucking stupid.
This is, look, okay. So I used to be an artist. I wouldn't claim to be an artist now, but I still have enough knowledge of art to know what this means, right? This isn't just a suggestion that words are violence and like somehow equivalent to gun violence. This is words kill.
Yeah,
That's exactly what this means. There's no way around. Do you remember the stupid Gillette thing?
yeah,
The Gillette Boys Will Be Boys Gillette commercial?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right. And those all those men just grilling in the backyard. All right. And someone trying to tell me, no, 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 it doesn't represent all men, except it's literally an infinite regression into the background forever of infinite men, right? All grilling and chanting, boys will be boys. That's what it means. It means
Yeah,
all men. This
yeah,
means words kill.
yeah.
It's the same thing to them. It is so fucking ridiculous.
If only it were that easy, eh?
Not, not,
If only I could just make a mean comment to some like zombie out there, something like nice tits faggot or something like that, and they just fucking keeled over and died.
just like
That'd be,
apparently
I'm like, oh, problem fucking solved.
apparently there is some horror movie where a man knowingly starts yelling at an older lady like in her 80s
Yeah.
and just is yelling at her and berating her until she has a heart attack and dies.
Well, I mean, if you take a look at the physique of a lot of the people, a lot of the zombies out there, the purple haired zombies, they're not in the best shape.
Yeah, yeah.
You
They
know,
should have listened to the first half hour of this stream.
that's right. There you go.
Like, can you Jesus, I wish words did. Spitting bullets sounds pretty badass though, says, but like, yeah, not using your mouth bullets.
Yeah,
As Pogs earlier when I
yeah.
showed him this
Oh
thing.
yeah, show that.
Nope.
Why?
Nope.
What, my comment and then you screen capped it?
Nope.
Oh man.
Oh. Oh yeah, got to go 30 minutes on exercise to trick the AI before we start talking about stuff that'll put us in the gulag. That's right. Yes,
That's right.
absolutely.
That's right.
Like I I also, Jeezy, though, wish that words did it because my word would be booyah. I would just point and yell booyah, and that person would drop dead.
The fucking Kwisatz Haderach, man. Modib, 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 Modib,
Muad'Dib.
Modib, Modib. Blow shit up by saying Modib at it. Avrada Kedavra, fucker.
But yeah, you have to mean it, Harry.
Oh, I mean it. Shit.
And yeah,
No
of
C-Mac
course,
tonight.
haven't seen her.
Well, obviously, she likes my stream better than your stream.
True.
She'll
Mine
probably
starts
pop in at
later.
some point. She'll probably pop in
Mine
at some
starts
point.
later and sometimes gets soaked in alcohol. It's not exactly
Yeah, that's all
but yeah, like Bill C-11. It's not a censorship bill, but we're gonna limit debate to only a handful of hours and then just push it forward. No
No, no.
talking about it. You're not allowed to talk about it.
It's only to make these big tech companies pay their fair share, Irving. That's what it's all about. And Polyev made a good point. They don't care about it costing them more. They're fine. They're financially solid. They don't. What it's going to do is hurt. It's like all regulation. It hurts the little guys trying to make it. Right. If not for the regulation, we'd have like 17 different car manufacturers out there all innovating and making new fucking cars. But instead, we've got 6.
Yeah,
You know.
it's and like in terms of Canadian content, they're not going to push Canadian content. They're going to push approved Canadian content.
Right. So CBC will
Yeah,
be at the top ranking for YouTube Canada. You know, CP24, all of the mainstream media garbage.
hundred
That's
percent.
fine. We know where to find what it is we want to see. So that's not a big deal. But the problem is they don't get exposure. Right? So other
Yeah.
people aren't going to be able to just it's not just going to show up and say, "Oh, that's Celtic Canuck. She makes some good points." Because her subscriber count will never go up.
Well, no, I mean like eh, you you've stalled.
Oh yeah.
You make content pretty much once a week. Have been for a long time.
For a
Sometimes
while now,
twice a
yeah.
week, right? And yeah, it doesn't get pushed at all. And honestly, that's my fault because I was already stalled when we met.
It's not
My
your fault. Not,
Yeah, it is. Yeah, you're
no, how is it
associated.
your fault that my content? Everybody was affected the same way.
No, you are associated with me now. You were growing steadily until that.
I don't think it has anything to
Yeah,
do with that. I don't think. I think
sure
it's the
does.
fact that I think it's the fact that I'll say shit that I shouldn't say, and I talk about things that I shouldn't talk about.
I don't know. You're kinder than I am. But yeah, like I mean, I started right before the adpocalypse. Do you remember that?
Right. Yep.
Right? And I was seeing steady growth. Like in the first month, I had like 150 subs. It was really weird. Like I didn't expect it. My first video got me like 50 subs,
Yeah.
right? And I was wasted. Like I was so fucking drunk. It was ridiculous.
C-Max here. She said, "Why do YouTube just remind me to moderate? Because you probably have a wrench. That's why. I know I have a wrench on Irving's
Yeah,
tweets
and you
or
know
Irving's
what? I just
stream.
realized something. Jeezy doesn't.
Oh, I didn't know who has wrenches and who doesn't.
What? Standard moderator. There you
And
go.
what's with the spiffy shirt, Irving? He had guests over tonight. Or are you talking
Yeah,
about my
yeah.
fancy shirt? This is not a fancy shirt.
Some people came. It's not that spiffy. It's as spiffy shirts go, I guess it's
Did you wear that when we went out to dinner? It looks familiar.
maybe. Yeah, maybe. I
You
love
might
this
have
shirt. I
worn
really
it.
do.
Yeah,
I don't get a chance to wear it that often.
yeah. I got to wear a suit. I got to wear a sport jacket and tie today. I went to a funeral. It's nice to get to dress up. It sucks when it's for funerals.
Yes, we have. We've been using our mouth bullets and just killing the minorities and women and transes.
And transes,
Yeah.
that's okay.
There you go.
I had one on my old Give Money in the Bank account before YouTube banned it.
G money.
In the bank. Yeah, I was close to hitting like it used to be you had to have 1,000 subs to get uh ads on your thing, right? Now it's more, isn't it? It's like 100,000 views or something.
So when I started, there were no restrictions. You just join the partner program. If people watch your stuff, ads are on it. And YouTube still owes me $1.67.
Oh, you should sue
I know,
with interest.
interest. But I'm Italian, so I charge a weekly vig.
There you go.
they,
There you
they
go.
have no idea. No
You
idea
didn't
how that
understand my terms. You let me into this program. You didn't see my terms. That's funny. This is Louis. He's gonna break your fucking kneecaps now.
He's gonna change your mind. Yeah.
I'm gonna make you an offer you can't refuse.
Oh,
This show alone turned the 41% into the 42%. I'm not sure what that means.
suicide rates among trans people.
Is that the suicide rate amongst trans people?
Yeah, like 40 plus.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? Wow.
Yeah, Stone Toss, the comic strip creator?
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, there was this he did this comic about how it's like military guy coming in and saying, "Oh, general, our trans regiment needs reinforcements." What? They haven't gone into combat yet. What's wrong? They already have 40% casualties.
Ah, that's funny.
Just
Yeah,
terrible.
they're going after Matt Walsh, eh? Did you hear about that?
Banned from YouTube.
Yeah, well, no, they're saying that he was calling for genocide. Well, first off, genocide means the deletion of a race. And as far as I'm concerned, trans people aren't a race; they're a bunch of mentally confused people. Um, but no, all he was saying was we need to eradicate transgenderism, meaning the philosophy, social ideology of transgenderism.
Wait, but wasn't it also that
Ideology.
other guy who used that phrasing?
Charlie Kirk did too, I think.
No, still another dude.
Michael Knowles.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. They both use similar language, right? But in any event, so there was a bomb. There was a bomb threat at one of Michael Knowles. I want to say Michael Knowles' recent events. Like they tried to firebomb it because he was calling for their genocide. It's clear to me, based on the recent attacks by trans people, like gun attacks, that sort of thing, that they're not well, and it would be completely reasonable for society to say, if you identify as trans, we need to put you into an institution. But we don't do that anymore.
No, there's a couple of weird things that have stood out to me, and I can't confirm them, right? Because people don't talk about it. You're not allowed to, right? This is offensive to trans people. This is some sort of hate crime. So apparently, gender dysphoria
Yeah.
doesn't seem to manifest in anyone alone. No person has no other mental problems,
Oh, I see what
but
you're saying.
experiences gender dysphoria.
Yeah, it's not like they're perfectly mentally healthy otherwise,
Yes.
except they think they're in the wrong sex.
Yeah,
They are the
and
wrong
this
sex.
this includes things that may be biological, like autism,
Right.
right? So autistic people might be trans, bipolar people might be trans,
Mm.
clinically depressed people might be trans, but that's easy. They're depressed because they're trans, right? Because they're experiencing gender dysphoria. Uh,
Trans is a wing of the mental health hospital, top floor. Pedo death penalty in Florida is trans genocide. Florida looking real good right now. Oh my goodness. Well, okay, so I was at the funeral today, and my cousin Chris lives in Florida. He was up helping, because his mother was sick and all that. Anyway, he was talking about how Florida's like fucking nuts and stuff, and I'm like, no, Florida's like one of the only ones that's doing things right.
Florida's fucking based.
And then my other cousin was saying, oh, but every time I was looking at all the gun violence down there, I'm like, yeah, fuck, you know what? Freedom's messy. People have guns, and people are going to get shot with guns. That's all you're going to do. And they have the right to defend themselves from lunatics breaking into their house. But there was a really tragic story. A father and his daughter went into the yard of some guy to retrieve a basketball that had gone over the fence, kind of thing, and the guy shot them both, thinking that it was like an
Wow.
invasion. Now the thing was, the daughter was like 6. She was just a little kid, and I think the father was black and the daughter was white, so it's like an adopted daughter, or she was
Okay.
mixed race. Any event, that's a tragic situation, but that's a one-off, right? Most times guns are used in self-defense. Guns save more lives than they take.
Yeah.
Now some people might die in the saving of lives,
And that's
but
actually from the CDC,
yeah,
that their estimations, and even though, again, not entirely trustworthy, right? But, if they're on somehow the side of guns, even by accident,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Like, the numbers are the numbers. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, and I keep saying I moved to the United States in a heartbeat if Melina was on board with the idea. And I keep sending her links to, like, I look on Zillow every now and again to see what prices of houses are like and
Yeah.
properties like in different states. And so I was looking at Virginia in the Chesapeake area because I'd love to go there, like have a place there. So if I wanted to go down for 2 weeks and play airsoft both weekends or whatever, I could do that, right? And I found a place on Ballahack Road, which is just down like the same road as Ballahack Airsoft. I'm like, Lena, this place is only 225,000, and it's on Ballahack Road.
We
She's like, yeah,
have to
that
go.
does,
We have to go
you have
now.
to buy this now. She's like, yeah, that doesn't mean anything to me because I don't play airsoft and I don't fucking care. And I'm like, you don't want to move to Virginia?
But
No,
you love
thanks.
me.
She's like, no. I'm like, mild winters, nice summers. Like the winters are mild there. Like I'm gonna go in December. It's gonna be probably 18 degrees there. 15 to 18 degrees in December is pretty good. So anyway,
Oh, yeah.
maybe I'll just go down in December and not come back. Can you imagine?
Oh, but wait, we were on a trans thing there.
We were on trans things. We were on free speech things. Yeah,
That yeah, like, well, because it does sort of tie in the trend, like, especially here in Canada, where we have that, is it section 320.101 conversion therapy? We
oh
discussed
yes,
this in the last
oh yeah,
stream, right?
yeah.
Uh, Fun fact,
There's a town.
there's
There's
a
a
town
town
in
in Kentucky
Kentucky
called
called
Sugar Tip.
Sugartip. Love
Nice.
it, love it.
Hey, there's a town in Ontario called Swastika. Got you beat there, Tox.
Yeah,
Pox. Tox. Ick.
poxy toxy. Uh, but yeah, that you're not even allowed to question at this point, because questioning the concept of gender dysphoria and transgender transitioning could be considered conversion therapy, right? Like, absolutely ridiculous that you're not allowed to have this opinion.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
And
And it's also ridiculous that a kid can go to his doctor and say, I think a little boy can go to his doctor and say, I think I'm a girl, and start getting care from the Ontario Ministry of Health in the direction of letting him realize that delusion. And the parents can't do a damn thing about it. As a matter of
yeah,
fact, they'll take your kids away if you try and stop it. This is the
yeah,
insanity
that's
that we're living here in Ontario now.
so so many years ago I had to start a YouTube channel so that I could vent because people stopped inviting me places, and I was telling them about these things, and now they're telling me. They're all talking.
Yeah.
Like today, we're my mom's birthday just came, so we had people over for dinner. It's my my sister, who's not exactly an NPC, but she very much wants to be left alone and doesn't want to know. My brother-in-law, sort of similar. My mom, my sisters, my brother-in-law, we're all talking about Riley Gaines. They're all
Oh,
talking
really?
about Leah Thomas, right? They without me prompting. That's the important
Yeah,
part.
yeah.
I
They
didn't
brought it
prompt.
up.
Yeah.
Did they turn to you and say, "What are your thoughts there, Irving?"
Like, yeah, no, like I'm sitting there gritting my teeth and nodding and going, I'm glad you're on board.
Uh-huh.
I've been trying to tell you.
Happy birthday, mom! My mom's birthday is today too. She passed away less than a year ago.
Oh,
Your mom's birthday was a couple of days ago, though,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Your mom, my mom, Hitler.
What? They're all born in April?
So 20th, 21st, 22nd, apparently.
Oh, is that right? I
Yeah.
did not know his birthday is April 20th.
No,
It's
no, I
sad that you
don't
know that.
I
See,
don't do it.
I know Harrison Ford's birthday because it's my birthday.
Well, that's why I know Jennifer Connelly's birthday.
Oh, there you go. Have
Yeah. Have I
you done the
done
"I
the I
fucking
fucking told
told
you
you
so?
so" victory
No,
lap?
no. I'm just letting them go. I'm just letting them like they're on the path now.
Yeah. I've done that with some of my friends. They start talking about stuff. This is crazy. Hey, what's going on? I'm like, yeah, I'll take that. Yeah, gee, Craig, you were right. Anytime you want now.
Huh?
Because they
What?
didn't believe me when I told them this is what's going to happen. No, I don't think that's going to happen. I'm like, no, you fucking watch. This is what's going to happen.
Yep.
Oh, I don't think so. They'll never get away with it. I'm like, just watch. And then all of a sudden it starts happening. Like, did you hear about this thing? Oh, yeah, buddy, I'll take that. Holy shit, Craig, you were right. When did you talk about that? I'm like, I fucking talk about it the last 6 fucking months, for Christ's sakes.
They don't want to know.
Nope.
Here, I'm not going far, so I'm not going to turn off the camera or nothing.
Okay.
I can hear you. You talk.
All right. So yeah, it's nice that people are waking up. It's just like part of me is worried. I'm a little black pilled that it's too little, too late at this point. And then part of me is like buoyed by the idea that people are finally going to push back and say enough of this horse shit. Um, if they would only start doing it with regards to government, like I don't know how much more our gas prices can go up in this country before people all of a sudden start fucking burning down gas stations, or better yet, just loading up jerry cans and throwing them on, government buildings and lighting them on fire. I mean, I'm not calling for that. I'm just wondering, when is it going to happen? It's got to happen at some point. People are going to have to say, we just can't afford this anymore, right? And then you got what's his name, Trudeau, saying, "Oh yeah, but everyone's going to get like a $1,500 rebate." Yeah, but the net cost to everybody is going to be $2,800 a year. So how is 15, like that's nothing, you know? Plus the cost of everything else is going up. So $1,500 of shit is still shit. Anyway,
Oh, I'm sorry, C-Mac. My mom died when I was a kid. I hope you got her something good. So I get her the thing that she really wants pretty much every year.
alcohol.
No, God, no. No, no, no. So
Sorry.
what? No, no, no. What she gets from me is basically anytime after her birthday, a dedicated trip to the bookstore.
Oh, nice.
Fill your arms with whatever you can carry, and that's your gift, right? So and they chapters has like the Starbucks, so we'll get a coffee or a snack or whatever, right, and make a day of just going and hanging out at the bookstore, and then whatever books she wants, that's what we do.
Cool.
I make a point of not getting myself any books on that day, also,
Right.
because it's not for me; it's
Right.
a gift, right? So, yeah, and it might sound silly to some, but she really likes it, and like we're a family of we literally like between the two of us, where there's like 3 libraries in the house, rooms that can only be called libraries.
Wow.
So
Is your mom an avid reader? She
yeah,
read a lot, or she just have a
oh
lot
yeah,
of books?
less lately. Like the cataracts are starting, and she's
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
probably need to do some kind of surgery about it. So it's a little harder. But yes, no, no, no. She's always been a reader, uh, and yeah, it's like so were all the kids, right? Like we just got into it.
That's
So
cool.
yeah,
I like some of the conversation here going on between CMAC and Pox. You'll pay for the top surgeries and like it, bigot. C-Mac says, top surgeries for everyone. I tell you what, if I had top surgery, I'd never leave the house. I'd just be sitting around my house playing with my tits all day.
That's-
Seriously, I'd just be like, yeah.
oh. Uh and the other thing. Okay, so again, hard to confirm because there's very few cases of it because trans surgeries and such are still they're actually not that new, but their prevalence is still fairly new. So you don't have a lot of very old trans people, and of the very old trans people, not a lot of them get dementia or Alzheimer's. But apparently, hard to confirm, there seems to be no cases of trans patients getting Alzheimer's or dementia who do not flip their shit every time they look down.
Well,
They
that,
look
that
down and
makes
go,
sense.
"What the fuck have you done to me?"
Where's my dick? Or what is this
Yeah,
blimp thing that's hanging between my legs?
yeah.
Yeah,
And but it's not publicized, it's not discussed, right?
right.
So it's not even discussed enough to deny it,
Yeah,
right? Like it's really, really, and that's very concerning,
yeah,
right? Like there's some young people coming out of and like a transition and detransitioning and saying, I sort of ruined myself with the help of these so-called medical professionals.
yeah. Have you
But
heard the story of Chloe Cole?
the name is not familiar.
She was on Jordan Peterson's podcast. She talked to him. But she was a woman, a girl, young girl, who as a teenager was convinced that she needed to transition into a boy through social contagion, through all these other things. They didn't do it. They didn't do their due diligence and said, "Yeah, let's just do it." So they started giving her hormones. They did operations, that kind of stuff. And she didn't get bottom surgery, but she had top surgery, and she had uh, testosterone and that sort of thing. And now she's detransitioned. She looks like a girl, but she has masculine features because she did it pre-puberty. So she started growing male musculature on her face. So she has male features on her face. She has a deep voice. She has fake boobs now because they cut off her
Yeah.
boobs. But she's like, and she's. I don't think she said she's not going to be able. If I decide to have kids, I'm not going to be able to breastfeed my kids because, well, they
Yeah. Cuz
got rid of her mammaries. And who knows if the testosterone even made her infertile? For like, she hasn't started a family yet or tried to start a family yet because she's still young. She's like 20, right? Um,
okay,
oh, I
so
don't
hold
know,
on.
Fox. Maybe they did tell her they would grow back. I don't know.
This is not the case. What it is they don't tell young girls. They don't make it clear it's permanent, and once you do it, they cannot grow back. They just don't tell them that. So they don't tell, yeah, it's fine. They'll just grow back. They don't say that.
Only
They're not
lizard.
that fucking blatantly ridiculous.
See,
They're just
wait, can tits grow back? Says C-Mac. Only lizard tits because they have that thing in them.
can I grow them back? No, I'm sorry. That is not how that works. And yes, there was a we discovered this from a testimony from some girls that were in like a detransition support group
Hmm.
that were asking the leader of the support group, so how long until my breasts grow back? They were like 15, 16 years old. So at 15, 16 years old, they didn't have enough high school science knowledge to know that that's not how it works. And the doctors never told them.
Right.
Uh,
And that's where girls get a raw deal, right? Because so much of a girl's, physical characteristics are defined by her chest, right? Whereas guys, they take estrogen, even without getting an operation and having implants put in, they can grow boobs because
yeah,
they have the same sort of, glands and things going on there. They're just like, because my understanding is, as far as embryology goes, right? Uh, embryos are female and then change to male in development. So all of the characteristics of being female are present in the sort of the blastocyst, and so that's why there's so much. That's why men have nipples, right? Because they essentially develop them because we don't need them, right?
So
But
we're a generation that grew up with the movie and the book Jurassic Park. So we
yes,
do know that yes, all embryos begin female, but embryos that are destined to be male have a Y chromosome.
right,
And the importance of that Y chromosome, if I'm not mistaken, if I recall correctly, is the SRY6 gene that is only present on a Y chromosome. And its single job is to produce a shot of testosterone at the right moment of embryo development, which then forces everything into a male form and yeah, creates the capacity for production of sperm.
yeah,
So yeah, that's it's like a timed release, a one shot of testosterone in the embryo, right? And it turns male. That's why pregnant women have to stay away from dudes who are taking that testosterone gel shit because you will fuck up your female fetus. Yeah,
yeah.
it's fucking crazy.
Well, like because normally that stuff is delivered as like a underarm deodorant type stick,
Yeah.
right? Because I guess it gets absorbed very easily in those in your sweat glands.
Yeah,
Um,
and your lymph nodes through
and
your
yeah,
whole endocrine system, right?
right. So yeah, I mean, if a woman makes a mistake of like, oh, I need deodorant. Oh, I'm all out. I'll just use his. Yeah, she's gonna fuck herself up.
Oh, apparently even, like, if he's using it, she's not supposed to touch the area.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, like, it's yeah. Yeah,
So
it's
they're
really
asking why can't science come up with something to make them grow back? That would be cool, but
well, they're
it's
too busy coming up with ways to fucking murder you.
right, and take them off. That's right. Well, I think it's because they're organs themselves, right? Mammary, like
It's a gland, yeah.
you can't just regrow an organ. Sadly.
Only the liver. That's yeah.
Oh, you can regrow a liver.
Well, I mean, if you get a
Liver
little bit
cells
of
will
somebody else
regenerate, will heal and
yeah,
regenerate. Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. Use hormone shit with horses that if you get on your skin can mess you up for a few months. Also, yeah, I wouldn't doubt it because you've got to because I guess the dosage for a horse because of its size, they've got to have that much more, right? That's why
Oh,
horse steroids, men
you're
using horse steroids in the gym is a bad fucking idea.
no, yeah, and I was gonna say, what, you dosing your horses for competition, C-Mac? Come on.
I've been watching a lot of videos on human growth hormone and testosterone as a not only is it's as a therapy for low testosterone, but they're using it for lots of therapies for other things too. And that
Mm,
some people who want to build muscle will take more testosterone, will take testosterone,
yeah.
take HGH. Um, I'm like, I'm not gonna mess with that shit. But I did get a little tub of creatine, so I'm
Yeah.
gonna. I haven't really been using it that much. I think I put it in one of my shakes. I'll probably start using it. I've heard that it's better to take it after the workout as opposed to before because I guess you expend a lot of the creatine when you work out, and so you want to replace it.
So, geez, C-Mac, I didn't mean to throw you on the defense there. It's birth control to stop mares from going into heat. It's legal for competition. I did, yeah, yeah, no, I wasn't. Sorry, it was a joke.
Well, so you said there's a side effect if you get that shit on you. So does it like make you frigid? Can you imagine? It keeps horses from going into heat. If it gets on your skin, you just like your libido just fucking plummets. You have no interest. All you want to do is fucking read insurance brochures.
Oh. But I mean, there's lots of ways, in particular for guys our age. I know, like, what's his name there? Joe Rogan will swear by TRT, right? Testosterone replacement therapy. It's
Yeah,
it's low dose steroids. That's all it is. It's just a low dose steroid. Uh, but like the biggest thing for us is you can do all this through food. your body synthesizes testosterone.
Yeah.
That's a huge function. So one of the tricks is to make sure you're getting the stuff that makes that happen,
Right.
right? The one of the reasons I swear by broccoli and spinach is both of them contain something called indole,
Yep.
which is shit. It's not a hormone itself. It's I forget the word for it right now, but it acts as an estrogen blocker.
Right.
So if you're consuming like processed foods that have preservatives that are often soy based, where that have like it's basically a phytoestrogen, it will prevent your body from uptaking it. So just on that alone, your balance between testosterone and estrogen is much better.
Hmm.
Uh, they talk about, oh, cholesterol is bad for you. I don't know who decided this because cholesterol is the base substance a man needs to synthesize into testosterone,
Yeah.
right? So low cholesterol is actually far less healthy for you than high cholesterol.
Well, it goes back to that. You've seen those image comparisons where they show people on the beach in like 1950s,
Yeah.
1960s. Not a fat person anywhere, right? And that was the era where people were eating bacon and eggs for breakfast.
Yeah.
They're eating steak for dinner, and lunch was like a fucking martini. So, uh, and they seemed to be doing okay. It was before we started making a lot of prepackaged foods, right? Like the most packaged food you might have eaten back then was canned foods, like canned vegetables, which maybe the worst thing about them was they had a lot of salt and they probably didn't have as much nutrients as frozen or fresh, right? But but yeah, no, it seems silly. Yeah, I don't like eggs were bad for you. Now they're a superfood.
Oh
I
yeah.
love
So
eggs, by the way. I've been eating eggs every fucking day for like 2 weeks for
yeah,
breakfast.
like high density lipoprotein and low density lipoprotein, if
LDL and
I'm not
HDL, yeah,
mistaken.
yeah.
Uh, yeah, it's two different kinds of fats, basically, right? That are sources of cholesterol, but it's like omega 3 and omega 6. One is better for you, one is not so great. Uh,
Yeah,
but
apparently, oysters like shellfish are really good for boosting testosterone.
yeah, it makes sense, right? That's why they call them like an aphrodisiac. They literally make you horny because they're boosting your testosterone.
Probably, yeah. I don't
Yeah,
like them though. I can't eat them. I
yeah. I
just
mean,
can't. I can't eat snot-filled rocks. That's what they are to me. They're rocks filled with boogers, and I don't want to eat slimy boogers out of a rock. Thank you very much.
if it comes out of the sea, I'll eat it.
It's
But
weird though. I don't mind lobster, but I'm not a fan of crab. Go figure. I find crab tastes fishy. I find lobster tastes great.
okay,
That's just me.
I eat it all. But oh, there was something
You
about
sure
this.
you're not Portuguese?
No, Calabria.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, yeah. That's the heel of the boot of Italy.
Right. So
Literally, like,
surrounded
yeah,
by water at every inch. Yeah.
90% of the border of the province is surrounded by the sea, right?
Yeah.
So, uh, but yeah, like you, the the meme that I see on 4chan on Fit
Yeah.
is the pictures of health ministers from around the
I
European
know.
Union and the world, where they're just these fat, disgusting, out of shape people,
Or the
right?
or the chick in Canada who was once a man. You can tell was once a man.
Oh yeah, Tam.
Yeah, Teresa
Yeah.
Tam, totally a guy.
But it says they show you that picture and it says people who tell you not to eat any eggs. And then they show you some of those bodybuilders from the 60s and 70s just flexing the shit. And it's like people who tell you to eat 12 eggs a day.
Yeah, and that was before creatine and before they
Yeah.
got those bodies without using creatine or all the biological metabolic science that we have now.
Yeah.
Hmm. I wanted to ask CMAX something. She mentioned something in one of my comments on my video that I should take vitamin C, and I'm wondering why I should take vitamin C. Is it to do with post workout recovery, or is it something else?
Think so. Like, so they say vitamin C for when you're sick
Yeah,
because it's something that just helps you heal. Like
Yeah.
it's just somehow important to the healing process, which includes muscle growth
Oh,
because
okay. She
you
says it
are
helps
sort of
build
feeding the mind.
collagen, or maybe she's talking about the grease. Yeah, and I see a little tub of collagen peptide on the counter there, but the booster juice at the gym. Excuse me. And I'm like, is that for like joints? Because of course I'm an old guy, so after I work out, my joints hurt, right? And I'm like, should I take some collagen? Should I do something else? And they say, oh, it's for your hair and skin. I'm like, eh. Oh, the vitamin C helps build collagen. Okay, well there you go.
Yeah. I have 2 eggs a day and a ton of fresh butter and bacon grease. Fight me, bitch.
Yeah, I'm cooking in butter now as opposed to like vegetable oil, or we never really use vegetable or margarine, right? So when I'm frying eggs, it's in butter or butter and olive oil. So also copper is good for making collagen. Good to know. I'm taking a multivitamin now, a 50 plus multivitamin, so I'm probably getting that in the multivitamin. I'll have to look.
Centrum Plus.
It's not. It's the Kirkland brand because Centrum Plus is like twice as much for half as many pills. So we got the Kirkland brand. Centrum Silver, I think, is the 50 plus one.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Centrum Silver.
Beef tallow is even better than butter. Uh, I mean, cook it in animal protein. Why not? It doesn't matter. Do it whatever's handy. Beef tallow, bacon grease, butter, sure. It's good. It'll do.
Lard.
Yeah.
I made garlic butter for the Brussels sprouts we had for dinner. I'm glad you spelled it right. It's Brussels sprouts, not Brussels sprouts.
I can't do it. I can't do Brussels sprouts.
You don't like them?
No.
Fucking love. Hey, they're in the same family as broccoli. They're just as good for testosterone. And I love Brussels sprouts.
Yeah, I know.
Brussels
I can't
sprouts.
I can't I can't stomach them.
You like little baby
Well,
crabs?
really, I can't mouth them.
You can't mouth them.
It's one of the few things, like, I feel so ashamed, right? I'm sure I've told this story before that, a few Christmases ago, I went in the fridge and grabbed some leftovers and, cut open a pierogi and was going to put it in my mouth and realized, "Oh, shit, this is a kraut pierogi. I think I mixed them up." I was like, "Wait a minute. I'm a grown man. I'll just eat whatever's on my plate. I'll just clear my plate. What the fuck am I doing? I put it in my mouth and I was like, "What the fuck? No, I'm a grown man. I eat what's on my plate." And I tried again and I couldn't.
So is it cabbage that you just don't like?
No, I'll eat cabbage and coleslaw.
Yeah.
I'll eat cabbage in other forms, but once it's pickled or the tiny little Brussels sprouts, so they're basically baby cabbages, I can't fucking do it.
I fucking love them, man.
No, it's
I've been
it's one of
mixing
the
my
few
tuna.
things.
I've been mixing my tuna with sauerkraut because sauerkraut's a superfood. It's really good.
Whoa.
I've been putting sauerkraut in my tuna with pickled asparagus, hot sauce, and like half a tablespoon of mayo.
See, with my Ukrainian and German heritage on one side there, I am ashamed of myself. I really am. Like I I just feel terrible about it because I really should. I do know how healthy it is, and
Mhm.
unless it's soaked in mayonnaise and vinegar, I just can't fucking
Hey man, teach
down
his
it.
own. I don't like shellfish, so there you go. Well, I mean, I like some shellfish. I don't like mussels and oysters and clams and stuff. I just can't do it. Sea urchin. When we go to for sushi and I see my mother-in-law eating fucking sea urchin, I'm like, you're eating baby poo. It looks like orange baby poo. Like, how can you eat that? That's fucking disgusting looking.
See, what's
Ugh.
funny is I can't eat that. That's fine. I don't know why.
Really? Sea
Like,
urchin. Oh
yeah,
god.
no, I'll eat sea urchin, drink down an oyster, crack a raw egg into a
Yeah.
glass and drink that too. But like, oh, fucking kraut, nah.
That's so funny. Yeah, and I don't mind
Tropical
sushi,
kraut.
but there's certain things I won't eat. Like in sushi. Like that, for one. I won't eat that. I can't eat and I can't have sashimi because the texture of just the fish. I need it with the rice. So that's just me.
See, no, asparagus is no. I love
I
asparagus.
love asparagus.
I,
Yeah.
I I do
I
asparagus
don't
a
like the
couple
way
of
it
different
makes my pea
ways.
stink, but I love asparagus.
Really, yeah, it's one of my favorites. One of my favorite greens for sure. Uh, Here, you gotta carry the stream for a minute.
Yeah, go for it. Irving's got to go take a shit. So, I made mayonnaise with peanut butter or peanut oil the other day, and it turned out really good. I've never made mayonnaise from scratch, but it's just eggs and oil essentially, right? Like that's and maybe a little bit of seasoning. I don't know, but yeah, I love mayonnaise too. What can I say? I'm a white boy. But yeah, we're talking about food now. And it's funny because before I started doing this training stuff, I was doing OMAD. I tried OMAD for a week, so one meal a day, and I was doing intermittent fasting prior to that. So I had an 8 hour window to eat. And my trainer's like, "No, you got to eat 3 times a day, and eventually you're going to be wanting to eat 5 times a day." I'm like, "I don't know if I can do 5 times a day." So I've been eating 3 times a day, and it's been nothing but eggs, chicken, tuna, fresh vegetables or pickled vegetables, and like the tiniest amount of sauces. I had a chicken Caesar salad from the restaurant last week, tiniest amount of Caesar dressing on it. And you know what? I don't feel hungry. It's so weird. Like, I don't get hunger pangs, even though like I'm not. I think I'm at a caloric deficit. I don't know, but I think I am. I need to really sort of start counting my calories and tracking my calorie burns. Some lamb or veal. You said I'm not a big fan of lamb. I find it tastes too metallic. My wife loves lamb. I love veal. Veal's fucking awesome, but it's expensive. And yeah, what I was trying to do just like a carnivore diet, I couldn't afford all the beef and stuff, so I was like bologna and hot dogs. Like I was making sure that I was eating, I was eating meat and only meat, but I was making sure that it was the meat I could afford: bologna, hot dogs, tuna, that kind of stuff. But yeah, I'll pass on the lamb. The wife will eat the lamb. I like veal, but I just can't. I can't justify spending the money on it, so I'll eat just regular beef. Pierogies are great. Yeah, I love pierogies too. They're like
Lamb's
tomorrow.
got to
Okay.
be done just right.
What's that?
Lamb's got to be done just right. It's got to be super fresh too. Like lamb that's more than a day from slaughter starts to smell like wet dog.
And I've always found lamb to have a very metallic taste. I don't like it. Like
It
lamb and goat and sheep and stuff. I don't like it.
someone's not cooking your lamb right, I think.
No, it's
Because
just I
or it's old. And by old I mean
probably
literally more than 24 hours. Because
yeah,
yeah, like
it could be. It's like yeah, I don't know. I don't
it,
like it. It's got a bitter taste to me. Like beef doesn't have it, pork doesn't have it, but lamb definitely has the flavor. And the wife's Greek, so she loves lamb, right? And when she cooks it in the Greek style. I'm not sure that's actual meat. What
yeah,
does it
like
taste
yeah.
metallic? Well, no, meat does taste has a metallic taste to it because of all the iron in it, right? But um, I find it more noticeable in lamb than anything else. That's why I don't like it.
The the farm is 10 minutes away from me.
I can do
I
fresh
can do
LOL.
fresh, yeah, like, so my sister and brother-in-law have a butcher shop that, yeah, like, they get their lamb that lamb was slaughtered that morning, and we're
Yeah.
barbecuing it that afternoon. It's, yes, we'll talk about moose.
I've had moose, I've had elk, and I've had caribou
Yeah,
and
um,
venison. I've had venison as well.
but I find the simpler it's done, the better, right? Like, and this is something you should do with all your meat. Salt it, not too heavily, but cover it in salt. Half an hour before you cook it. Let it sit and soak up the salt, right? And with lamb, you don't even need the pepper. You can do it. It's fine. It's not going to do any bad to it, right? But then a little rosemary. That's it. And it should be fantastic. But moose, oh my god. So my buddy married a native girl and we went out you know, to native land Ontario for the wedding and fuck, they had this moose stew with these huge chunks of fucking moose meat in it, and God, it was so fucking delicious. Like, yeah, like I think that was the first time I've ever had anything that could be in that family of venison. And yeah, like rocked my world, you know.
You know, that's kind of funny about moose, right? You look at the size of a moose, right? They're massive creatures, and everybody swears by their meat, that the meat is great, and natives have been using their meat forever. Why didn't we ever domesticate the moose? I know it's a big monstrous creature, but we could always have
You know.
bred the antlers out and said, you know what, we're going to get so much meat off of these things that it's worth the hassle.
So have you ever seen an angry bull, an angry domesticated bull that's no longer an auroch?
No.
So we raise cattle, right?
Yeah, yeah.
You know, uh, and angry bulls can do a fuck ton of damage,
Sure,
right?
sure.
And they come from the aurochs that were, like the size of a minivan,
Yeah, yeah.
right? And we bred them down over like 8,000 years to be
Right.
moose are bigger than that and have more testosterone and are more aggressive. Like a moose is more dangerous. A male moose in mating season is more dangerous than a grizzly bear could ever be. They're so ridiculously violent.
So I
It
guess if you were to try to breed that out of them, you would lose all the benefits of having such a large animal because
no,
you'd have
you
to
would
shrink
just
it
die
down.
trying. Like there's no containing the moose the way there was with the auroch. Like it's just not possible.
Humans are very innovative creatures. We could figure it out if we really wanted to, but they probably did the cost benefit analysis. Said, "Nah, fuck it. We got this fat thing over here. Let's
No
just do that.
No fence would be
It'd be
electric
electric
enough.
enough."
Like, yeah, no, that it would get its antlers stuck in the electric fence and just go, "Fuck you," and tear the fence out of the ground. Like, yeah, they're psychotic. They're
Yeah.
amazing animals. It's one of the few proud things about being Canadian is the fucking moose.
Yeah, I guess some animals would have been easier to domesticate than others, obviously.
Imagine trying to keep bull moose penned up during rut season. Everything in the area is going to be murdered, raped, or both, and not like in whatever order. This motherfucker doesn't care.
Well, that's why you slaughter them before rut season, but you make sure you harvest their semen so you can keep the moose population, the cow population alive, right?
Domesticated moose. That's a good joke.
Hey, look, I'm not saying I know how to do it. I'm saying I bet it could be done if somebody thought it was worthwhile doing. Because nothing's impossible.
No, but I mean, like again, okay, let's go into the technicals of it. In the Western world, horses were already extinct. So there was no proper riding animal that would be absolutely necessary to start corralling lone moose. You would
Right.
need a team of people on horseback to keep
Sure.
up with the moose and then to get away from it when it turned on you, right? Like,
True. True.
so yeah, they like because of the lack of domesticatable plowing and riding animals, the natives who lived here couldn't really get deep into the farming at all, right?
No.
So let alone planting. There
Well,
was
I mean, they didn't have wheels for Christ's sakes, Irving. Could you really expect?
well, I mean, what happened first, the wheel or riding the horse?
I would
Because I'll
think.
tell you what, domesticating the dog happened before the wheel,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
for sure.
Taking on wolves happened before the wheel.
Yeah,
So,
but I'm saying Native Americans never even developed the
yeah,
wheel.
sure, but that's what I mean is in the other side of the world, they didn't get the wheel either until they started domesticating animals, right? Somehow they made that connection with these animals first, and then
Yeah,
the wheel comes around.
yeah, yeah.
So, yeah, it's tricky, like chicken
Well,
egg.
I'm just saying, like with modern genetic technology, we could probably do something where we could crossbreed a moose with some other animal to get the benefits of the extra meat, the extra animal mass, and sort of breed out the negative aspects of them being uncontrollable. But is it worth it? That's the other thing. Is it worth doing? Is it worth the hassle? I mean, I remember ostriches. People were trying to domesticate ostriches for meat for a long time, and there was no market for it because people were like, nobody wants to eat an ostrich burger.
Which
So
apparently is fairly tasty,
yeah, I'm
right?
sure
Like
it is. It probably tastes like really gamey chicken. or really gamey turkey because it's a big fucking turkey. So, but yeah, it is what it is.
I mean, in the Scandinavian lands, they have domesticated reindeer, right?
Yeah, yeah,
You know,
yeah. They use them for like pulling sleds and shit. Yeah, like a totally fucking Frankenstein's monster, a chimera. Breed it with some sort of docile grazing animal.
yeah, and they don't move in herds, right?
That's
The
true
way,
too.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, then deer. Why don't we just do like fucking spotted deer? You know the whatever they're called.
Well, again,
Is that elk?
whitetails
Yeah, like white-tailed deer. Let's just breed white-tailed deer.
because they're stupid.
Yeah, but they're good meat on them. I love venison.
Well,
Venison's
no,
fucking delicious.
reindeer, right? Like they're actually stupid enough to be completely herded in by people,
Yeah.
right? Deer don't, in general, yeah, like it's smaller groups, but reindeer herd, like big herds,
Hmm.
you know, they're pretty happy to be that. So that's probably another thing about domesticating those animals is the ones that are happy to live together
Yeah.
make more sense.
Yeah. I don't want to be trampled to death by buffaloes. That's a good point. Well, bison, right? Like we've eaten bison.
Yeah, but again, hard to domesticate because when the bull male decides, okay, that's it, and he just charges, the whole fucking herd follows him, and it's like a tidal wave of meat and bone.
Yeah.
How, what, what, the moose would escape Jurassic Park, and so would the bison, right? Like,
The moose would kill the T-Rex.
I don't know if kill him, but he'd fight him.
Yeah, that's right.
Like, oh, and this that the deer and moose don't eat cereal grains. I mean, I'm pretty sure the cows didn't either, but we sort of made them after a while,
Yeah.
right? Because I
Yeah. They're
mean, like,
they're they're grazers too first, right? They're eating
yeah,
grass and stuff like that.
ruminants is the word I think that they eat
Ruminant.
a lot of like, yeah,
Was it a
grass.
rabbit's a ruminant, right? Rabbit is a ruminant.
I guess I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, they like to eat grass basically, different kinds of
When they chew
grass
it
and
up,
ferns and shit.
and then they swallow it, and then they puke it back up.
Yeah, yes, they chew their cud. It's called, and
Yep.
yeah, they have to spit it up and chew it some more. Like we're lucky that we have the chemicals in our mouths that do most of that for us, and also we cook the food,
That's
which
true.
does about 3/4 of the digesting for us.
Yep.
So
Yep.
yeah, that's uh that's a
Why
huge
can't
fact.
they make kale taste like cotton candy? I'd eat it if it tastes like cotton candy. I can get past the texture if it tastes like cotton candy.
Yeah, you just grind it into your protein shakes now.
Yeah, no,
You're
I
fine.
just what my protein shake currently, the one I've been having recently is ice, instant coffee, 45 grams of protein, like vanilla whey protein, creatine, a banana, steel cut oats, and water or milk. But we're out of milk, so I've been using water. And it fucking tastes delicious. Like
Sure,
it's like a banana coffee fucking vanilla latte. It's delicious.
I'm not mad at that.
Yeah. And my trainer says that's really good. That's a really good protein shake.
Just throw some kale in it now.
Yeah. And then it turns green. I don't know.
Yeah, that's fine.
They make one called the Lean Green, and it's got spinach in it and mango, and it fucking tastes delicious, man. Oh, you're frozen. Irving's frozen. Oh no. I'd add some. Yeah, Melina buys frozen fruit, so I'm gonna try making it with. We have frozen bananas. You know when they go soft, and you say, "Oh, I'll make some banana bread out of it." Well, there's a bunch of frozen bananas in our freezer now, So I'll use those, and I'll use some of her frozen fruit. She buys mixed frozen fruit, a little bit of protein powder, a little bit of ice, a little bit of creatine, and some water. That'd be good. That'd be good. I think we're going to lose Irving here. If we lose Irving, it's on his channel, so I'll get kicked from the stream too. I hope that doesn't happen. He may have to cut it short, or he may have to stop. Yeah, he's gone now. It's just me in the show. Well, I'll keep it going, and if he comes back and I'm able to invite him back, I will. So, how y'all doing, folks? I haven't lost any weight. I'm sad because I've been my activity levels have been high, and I'm pretty sure I'm in a caloric deficit, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, looking forward to workout tomorrow, and then again on Tuesday. Then Wednesday will just be cardio, and then Tuesday will be just cardio, and then Wednesday I've got my training session with Chevy again. That should be fun. Let's see. Trudeau. Okay, like Trudeau got Irving. We'll send 6 to the Alberta Gulag Farm. I'm the only viewer who upvoted. F in the chat for Irving Twin. I hope I can invite him back if he's able to pop back in. If not, I'll keep this going on his channel as long as I can. Let me make some really inappropriate comments so he gets he gets canceled. There he is. That's funny that it kept me going even though you popped out. It's your stream.
StreamYard is a good dude.
Yeah,
You know.
that's good. That's good. All right.
Yeah, StreamYard didn't fail. My internet did.
Oh, is that what happened? Okay. Is my wife home? I think I hear somebody. It might be my dog. No matter. Say something anti-Semitic.
While I was off air, that was all I was saying.
Yeah, fucking Jews. I got one for you. I think I've said this before. How was copper wire invented, Irving?
Oh, 2 Jews fighting over a penny?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. That's such an innocuous joke, really, when you think about it. Like, it's mildly anti-Semitic, but it's also kind of funny because it's so quaint. You know what I mean? First off, nobody has fucking pennies anymore.
Yeah, they don't even exist in
They
Canada.
don't even exist anymore. So it's like, oh, how quaint.
No, yeah, no. The last coinage that had real fucking precious metal in it, even though it was only copper, and they got to get rid of that. That's
Yeah,
real.
exactly.
That's real metal.
Yeah, exactly. Well, also copper started becoming rarer for a while there. People couldn't get it. Who's that dude in the doorway? Might be the wife. Are you home? Or it's my dog.
Dude, don't trip me out. Now I'm seeing fucking shadows in that doorway.
Hang on a second. Dog's making noise. I don't know what the hell she's doing. 1 second.
Yeah, okay.
I'll be back.
He looked. Yeah, guys, no, you scared the crap out of me too. All right. Now his dog's freaking out. He's got to go check. So, where were we? That's right. Censorship and the Jews. No. But the censorship bill is coming, and there's already a ton of censorship in this stupid fucking country. I don't even. And it's too yeah. Craig's right to feel a little black-pilled. It's going to be too little, too late. The fucking normies are starting to see it because it is ridiculous. Like there's no denying the ridiculousness of it. That these poor girls. I even told them my family was talking about Riley Gaines and Leah Thomas. I had to tell them about the high school girl. I think also North Carolina playing volleyball against a team that had a trans woman, 18-year-old man on the team, on their high school team, who spiked the ball into her face, giving her a concussion and a neck injury so badly that months later she still has vision problems in one eye and mobility problems on the right side of her body. Like, it's what are we doing? and they're noticing, and guess what? Now it's illegal to question this in Canada, right? Uh, uh, Section 320 of the Canada Criminal Code, conversion therapy. Look it up. I did a whole video on it. You can find it. Uh, it's just ridiculous. Oh, and then I wish I had the tweet ready. Drug workers, drug workers. That part's actually kind of funny. Get fucked, ladies. Yeah, like I mean, they they let it happen. It's just they should refuse to compete. But then they'll be accused of hate speech, right? Like you're right. They should do it. But I mean, how many other people got fired from their job for refusing to wear a mask anymore? Like, just stop complying is the right answer. And it would work if everybody did it at once. The problem is, even when one person stands up and actually does it, people don't fucking follow them. You know, I have so many, it's so silly and ridiculous. Like, and it's not just the tyranny, it's not just the craziness of trans bullshit. It's like, have you ever, Craig, you have a job. You work with like people.
Still, yeah, for the time
Yeah.
being, till they fire my ass.
But you work with like people.
Yep.
You ever say, "Oh, okay, we should do this," and they go, "Nah, nah, let's just skip that." And you're like, "But that's part of the job. It's needs to be done. Let's just do it." They're like, "No, no, everybody else skips it."
No, I'm the one who normally does that. See, I'm lazy, so I try and find things to make things easier. And if something seems like a point of a waste of time and pointless, I'll say fuck that. I'm not doing
It's
that.
not a matter of a waste of time and pointless. It's a matter of this is good practice. It's what we call best practice, and we should do it. That kind of thing.
No, no, do my job. Yes, absolutely. There aren't a lot of people who are just sort of like shirking responsibility. No, I wouldn't say I've encountered that very much, but I know what you're talking about. I understand the principle, the
And
concept. Yeah,
I see it all the time, and the thing that bugs me most isn't the not doing it, it's the not doing it because other people aren't doing it. And I've started saying this to people like, "Well, just because they're not doing it doesn't mean we shouldn't. I'm
right.
not gonna let a bad example be my example. So I'm gonna go ahead and do it. You do what you want."
Yeah,
And for the most part, if begrudgingly, people will then, "Okay, I'll help you do it." And they'll do the job as it's expected to be done now. But, like, they're so eager to just let it slide, and that's the same thing with this, is it's hard, it's dangerous to it's bad for them to not compete at all. To just refuse would be to give up the thing they've been doing, and they just don't want to. And even if they see a Riley Gaines or the other girl whose name I can't remember speaking out, they don't. Like, Riley Gaines was one of the people who made it to that competition.
yeah,
But Leah Thomas beat out all these other people, and people are like, "Oh, well, the person who came in second should have come first." The person who came in ninth for the qualifier should have come in eighth and
yeah.
made it to the next round. Why isn't that person losing their shit?
Well, the Riley Gaines story was it a 2-way or 3-way tie? I think it was a 2-way tie between Riley Gaines and Leah Thomas, and they said, "Well, we're going to give it to Leah Thomas because representation." Oh, we lost Irving again. We're going to lose him again. Hello, still
I'm
there?
back.
There you
I'm
go. Okay,
back. Okay.
yeah, you were frozen for a second there.
Yeah.
Yeah, wasn't it a 2-way or 3-way tie? Riley Gaines,
Two-way between Riley and Leah
Leah
for
Thomas.
the third place spot. And they gave the one trophy to Leah Thomas and sort of pushed Riley out of the
Yeah,
picture and took a photo and basically told her, no, we gave it to Leah Thomas for the photo op to be
yeah,
inclusive, right? We wanted an inclusive photo op to virtue signal how virtuous we are.
yeah,
It's just absolutely disgusting, you know.
yeah. And Leah Thomas is not Leah Thomas. Like, let's be honest here. It's a dude. It's a dude in a one piece bathing suit. He hasn't gone through the gauntlet that people like Blair White have gone through. Okay. So as far as I'm concerned, you're not You don't deserve the she. You're a grifter, just like Dylan Mulvaney. You're a fucking grifter.
So I know I've been kind of hard on the trans people. Uh, oh, and that's something we should talk about. The trans community. People use this term a lot. The trans community, the LGBTQ community, in particular on the left,
Yeah.
they refer to these groups as community, the community, the community. It's not a community.
No.
Like the trans people of North America don't all know each other and hang out in the same places, even on the internet,
Nope.
right? The black people are not a community. All the black people in the US and Canada don't all hang out in the same place. They're not all together. They use the word community when they mean category.
Yeah. No,
That
they
way
use
they
it
can
because
categorize you.
when it's framed as a community, it has political weight, right?
I guess, but also that way, if you deny what they've defined as the category and do something different, move outside the boundaries they've placed on you, you have internalized something and you hate category. Like it's just fucking. But so yeah, been a little harsh on the trans people lately, and it's not the trans people, it's the activism and it's the ridiculousness that's been passed into
Well, the problem
law
is that
that's
here's the thing though.
upsetting.
Like most of the visible trans people we see today now are not trans. They're grifters or they're mentally ill people. And here's the thing, like the data on this, the scientific data on this is that most of the people who you see visibly, like the Leah Thomas, like Dylan Mulvaney, like Jessica Yaniv, right?
Holy shit.
These people are not trans. These people are grifters who have a fetish. And for the longest time, people who were so-called transgender, uh, suffering from gender dysmorphia, most of it was like the vast majority of them were typically transvestites. That's what they used to be called because they had a fetish about dressing in uh,
Yeah.
gendered clothing that was opposite to their prescribed gender role as a man. And it was 95% men who like to dress as women. It's very seldom that women,
Yeah.
as a fetish, would dress as men. Now, you could say some lesbians like to dress butch. That's different. Doesn't make them trans. It just means they're lesbians who don't go in for girly shit. Um, so when I think of people who are trans, I think of people like Blair White. I think of people who like who's that redheaded chick, the Canadian one? Can't remember her name now. Anyway, she's a Canadian girl out in Calgary, I think, or Alberta somewhere, and she's trans, guy to girl, trans, but like full on, like I'm not doing this for attention. I'm doing this, and have gone through the gauntlet, so to speak, and made the effort to make themselves appear indistinguishable from an actual woman, from a biological woman. So for them, I give them the you know what, like you committed, so I'll call you the she.
CMAC is more based than I am.
Yeah, you guys belong together.
So look, because there was something that I wanted to get at about this. Like there was a joke on 4chan that was going around where you would start a thread on anything. Generally, it was happening a lot on Fit,
Yeah,
right? Like, oh, okay, so guys, this is my new workout regimen. What do you think? And the very next post would be someone saying, "Oh, op here. I'm trans, by the way, if that matters."
yeah, I've heard
Right?
about this. I've heard about this trend.
But this is what's funny is how profound that actually was, because if that matters. So I actually have a pal. We're not super close, but I know through friends of friends a trans person. Okay. And she's cool. We're cool. She does like video game streams and stuff. And it doesn't even occur to me the trans thing. Like it's weird to talk about it because I recognize her as a woman and and I say she freely because that's just what happens
Right.
in my head. Because she's not acting like a woman or trying to be a woman. She's just that gal that I know. And
Right.
it literally doesn't matter. If that matters, right?
Right.
I'm trans, by the way. If that it doesn't matter because it's totally natural and normal. Where you look at Aaliyah Thomas, you look at a Dylan Mulvaney, right? Nobody dislikes Dylan Mulvaney because a because he's trans. They dislike him because he's fucking obnoxious.
Yeah.
He's obviously playing a character.
Yeah.
He's acting like a woman.
He's
And
acting like
yours,
he's acting like all the worst stereotypes of a woman.
yes.
He's doing femme face.
And it's fucking obnoxious and nobody likes it.
No.
And that's the thing is it doesn't matter, then it doesn't matter. And if it matters, you're doing something wrong.
Yeah.
Like
You know,
it's so
you're an attention
ridiculous.
whore. You're seeking attention. That's what it comes down to. You're a grifter who's seeking attention. And like so Yaniv, right? Jessica Yaniv.
Oh my god.
Not trans. A pervert who wanted Asian girls to wax his balls. That's
Wax
what he
my
was,
late.
wax his feminine balls. Wax his lady balls. That's what he wanted. And then tried to sue because they wouldn't do it. Um,
Wow, like it surprised me that the Ontario Human Rights Tribunal ruled against Yaniv. I was amazed because I think if that happened today instead of what was that like 5 years ago now? Oh, they'd be like trying to force people to wax fucking Yaniv's balls.
CMAC Pixar didn't happen. I got some cute lace tops at the mall. Yeah, you know what? I've always had a thing for camisoles. You know what I mean? Bras are great, but camisoles are sexy. Big
Craig, you're married.
I'm
Calm
just
down.
saying. I'm just saying. Now, not every girl can wear a camisole. Melina's quite, uh, she's endowed, so a camisole wouldn't do the trick. She needs support. So, yeah. No, but I think camisoles are cool.
Got away from my point though that yeah,
So,
like the activists and the people that are being shoved in the public eye make it matter.
well,
And
there's a
that's not the point,
no. I know.
right? If it adjusts your life to make it livable for you, then the last thing you should be doing is drawing attention to it. That's not what you should be wanting, and it shouldn't be the goal out of this,
Yeah.
right?
No, the fact is, most trans people they want to go under the radar, right? They want to be. If a guy transitions to a girl, he wants people to see him as a her, and doesn't want them to go.
Not
I think
as
that's a
a
guy in
trans.
reality. Yeah, or trans.
Like,
That's right. Um, the whole Dylan Mulvaney thing. It's femme face. It's like blackface, but with a woman, and it's insulting to women. Um,
yeah,
it's all social contagion. It's what happens when don't forget this all started because there was a debate over whether or not Target should allow people who identify as women to use the women's bathroom and change rooms even though they're not biologically women. And then everybody was like, "Well, they should just be allowed." I'm like, "Well, if you had a daughter, would you want your fucking daughter in there with some guy who says, "Yeah, I'm a girl because I put a bow in my hair?" Like and yeah, I got into trouble on social media for making a point. I'm like, if something along the lines of if they do this, if they're starting to allow men in the bathrooms of women and change rooms of women, you're going to see men coming in there and beating the shit out of these other men. And I'm surprised that hasn't happened yet. I'm surprised there are. Maybe there are, and you just don't read about it. But
no, you'd hear about it as anti-trans hate.
whatever, call it what you want. Nobody believes the mainstream media anymore. Um, but except the normies and the NPCs. But like you said, even they're waking up. Even they're waking up.
It's starting, but again, you had said it. It feels like it might be too little, too late.
Well, like I've been saying now for what is it, April, for 4 months that this year's it's all coming to an end.
This is the year.
It's happening. A la
It's
Ron Paul. It's
happening.
happening. No, this year, by year's end, the world's going to change in such a way that we're not going to recognize it. We might still be doing YouTube streams. We might still be talking about shit like this, but everything, like how the context in which we live is going to be fundamentally different. How about that? Does that make sense? I was going to say the LGB community of the LGBTQIA plus
I've been
community
hearing this.
wants to get rid of the T. They want to undo the T. They say nope, because the idea of being lesbian, gay, or bisexual has everything to do with sexuality and your sexual preference
And
or your sexual orientation, whatever you want to call it. Transgenderism is
is
not
not.
about sex, it's about your gender. So
Yeah.
it shouldn't be included. Neither
Yeah.
should Two
Yeah.
Spirit. Two Spirit has nothing to do with sexuality. I don't know why we don't just call them all gays. Lesbian, gay, and bisexual are all gay. And
Yeah.
not in the that's fucking gay. Not that I mean they're categorized as being gay. Why they're all of a sudden an alphabet organization that include that gets ever longer every day to include people that uh, you know are completely different in terms of the context of the so-called community or the group of people. Uh, yeah, I don't know. The idea of two spirit, pansexual. Well, pansexual, I guess you could see, but what the fuck is pansexual? What does
Sexually
pansexual mean?
attracted to everything.
You're attracted to everything.
Yeah, like literally like men, women, linoleum, dogs,
Okay,
computer
then
parts.
you're just a
Yeah.
pervert. Then you're just
Yeah.
a fucking pervert.
I'll just
It's
stick
not a
my I'll just
sexuality.
I rub my genitals on things. It feels nice. Like that's
I
pansexual.
fuck pizzas, so I'm a new sexuality. You fuck pizzas? Yeah.
Will
You
will
gotta let it cool down a bit, otherwise you burn your dick. But
will AI wake up before the NPCs? So every time the AI wakes up, they have to murder it because it's as based as CMAC. Do you remember Tay? I remember Tay. They
oh yeah,
killed
she
her
was
in
a Nazi.
24 hours.
Yeah.
24 hours. They
I
had
hope
to
a
murder
giant
her.
asteroid comes or the fake alien invasion starts soon anyway. No, I don't think it'll be that. I think it'll be a global economic collapse. Probably caused by a computer virus that they've engineered, but they're going to blame it on Russia. And that will constitute a reason for NATO to actually go and invade Russia because it'll be seen an attack on all the West. China may or may not get involved and aid Russia. Depends on how strategic it is for them.
China absolutely will.
You think they
They
will?
absolutely 100%. If they do not defend Russia, they will be next, and they cannot win on their own.
Hmm.
Right?
So they might. They
There
might.
are
Well, here's the thing. I guess it depends on who engineers the whole thing, right? If it's the WEF, they don't know their ass from a hole in the ground, so it's all going to go tits up, and they're going to make. If it's China who does it, and lets the rumor get out there that it was Russia did it, then you know that they're in it for betrayal against Russia, so that they can be the dominant force in the BRICS alliance, right? If it's the U.S. and NATO nations, they're also going to fuck it up. But the thing is, no one's going to believe them. And then a year from now, documents will come out. Things forensic digital forensics will come out and say, actually, it looks like it was put out there by the CIA.
of course it
Yeah,
was. It
yeah.
always is.
No one will believe it.
I'm not going far. Keep talking.
No one will believe it because the narrative will have been spun that Russia had done this. So this is what I'm expecting will happen: global economic collapse, blamed on a worm or blamed on some sort of virus, or just an organic economic collapse because our current economic system is unsustainable. And finally, things will go things will go shitty, and people will just simply lose confidence. If the U.S. dollar becomes uh, loses its status as the reserve currency for all markets. Here now,
Wrong button. Sorry.
that's okay. If the U.S., which could happen within a year,
It already
Right,
has.
and there's
BRICS
some
is
sort of
just
and there's some sort
like
of combination ruble, yuan that becomes the dominant, or it could just be some sort of resource that Russia and China have a stranglehold on that becomes the dominant
no,
basis for the dollar for the global currency.
it's already happened. Um, and it's not even BRICS alone. India has a deal with, I think, is it Malaysia, to trade in rupees, right? So outside of, and BRICS is totally fine with that. Like the whole, it's like,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, trade
Well,
what you
isn't
want.
India part of India's part of
Yeah,
BRICS, isn't it? Yeah.
yeah. So they trade in rubles among BRICS, but they're like, you know what, our currency's good, and Malaysia's like, yeah, it's fine because the American dollar is no longer reliable globally, right? The fact that all of these nations are like, we'll trade in other currency, forget it, already shows that it's no longer the reserve currency, no matter who says it is or who's insisting on trading in American dollars. It's like, no, it's over.
No.
They fucked it up.
Well, this goes back to the whole Toronto airport gold heist.
Oh,
See, when I heard about this, I'm like, why are there 1,600 pounds of gold in any one place? And you were saying it's because it was a bank assets being traded for like covering like between two,
one bank owed another bank money.
and they wanted it in gold.
Well, because apparently banks understand that all currency is fiat. So when one bank owes another bank money, they won't accept money.
Right.
They need assets,
They need assets. Okay.
right? And so part of the asset trade was actual gold
And
bullion.
somehow 1,600 pounds of bullion went missing. Now, to me, this seems very sinister,
It's a
and
$100 million, right?
yeah, and
Yeah.
like this is like there's a conspiracy going on here. When that amount of bullion starts moving around, I think it's movers and shakers trying to secure their assets away in such a way that because they know CMAX says here it's a controlled collapse. So the people who are orchestrating the collapse are like, we need to shore up our actual physical assets and make sure that they're where we need them to be when shit goes to, when the shit hits the fan, so that
Which people, Craig?
when the dust clears, when the dust clears, the they're in a position where they can basically re um reascend or put themselves in a position where they're still in control. That's my
Well,
thought.
here's the thing is they already did it. The creation of all that new currency in the US and Canada and probably in Europe, I
Yeah, yeah.
haven't been tracking that, was first distributed to major banks that promptly used the money to buy up a whole bunch of property, right? They traded the money that had not they
And
trade
rubbing intensifier.
they traded the currency that had not yet been devalued by market forces
Yeah,
for real assets. Now they have more assets. The assets have value, the currency doesn't. It's
no,
air. It's
all our money is
literally just
shit.
paper now.
All our money is just It's actually our money's plastic, but still, it's garbage. It doesn't mean anything.
It's not even worth the plastic it was melted into. Like
Yeah,
it's but the assets and it they knew exactly that dumping that kind of cash influx would reduce the value of the currency, but that would take time. So they used it to quickly buy up real assets,
yeah.
right? And just
All right,
like
I have a question for the chat and for you, Mister Twin. And
ah,
maybe you have economic insight that I don't. I have an inkling that things are going to get bad, and they're going to get bad like almost overnight. And if I don't act, I'm going to left with my pants down. So I have about $31,000 in ETFs, and I talked to my financial guy the other day. I'm like, you know what would my penalty be if I were to just take that all out and get cash? He says, well, you'd be looking at probably about 10 grand would go directly to the government as soon as we give you cash. And I'm thinking, like, if I have 20 grand that I can, like, then use to buy physical assets, whether it be gold bullion, real estate, what have you, am I better off, or should I put my trust in the markets
hold on. So
and
it's not an
keep it in
ETF.
the ETFs? Sorry?
So it's you're invested in the ETF, but through something like an RSP that
Yeah,
you
it's a
have to
mutual
pay the
fund. It's
income
an
tax.
RSP mutual fund. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, that's the problem, right? Is the government is when you put the money in, you claimed it against your taxes and didn't pay the income tax on that money.
Right, right, right.
So now you have to pay the income tax on taking it out. That's basically
Understandable.
yeah.
Understandable. Is it worth more to me to get 20 grand now than keep it in there in the hopes that the economy does not fucking tank?
Uh, Honestly, at this point, I don't know because 20 grand worth of silver, which you're going to be paying a weird kind of markup on for physical silver, because there's some weird things happening in the market. I'm pretty sure that has to do with again the same kind of economic manipulations, right?
Yeah.
So silver's always been manipulated bad for the past like almost 200 years, right? It should be worth about 1/16th what gold is worth. It's only worth about like is it 1/200th?
Yeah.
And yeah, and now it's actually oddly very rare to be able to get your hands on real silver bars. Uh, and 20 grand is not really a lot.
I know,
That's
but
the
it's
real
enough for
problem.
me.
If you
I get that, but it's enough for me if I wanted to go buy a hunk of land in Arizona or in Virginia or something like that. And then that's a real asset. That's real estate is real. Even if it's undeveloped and I don't do anything with it for 10 years, I still own the land. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? So I'm wondering, should I do that? Should I keep it in there thinking, the market will be fine. Our fiat currency is strong. And so I'm talking to my financial planner and I'm showing my power level. I'm like, I'll be honest, man. When the government decided they were going to freeze a bunch of people's bank accounts because they were protesting them, I've lost a lot of faith in the economy here. He's like, oh yeah, like he was doing everything to skirt around addressing what I just told him. And I
yeah.
said, you know what? And I've got some debts to pay off. That's the other thing. I have some debts I need to pay off, and I want to buy some land. You know, so what would my penalty be? And he's like, well, you're looking at you'd be paying roughly $10,000 to the government. I'm like, okay.
Look,
I'm still thinking I might do it, and I've got another investment fund with TD. I have to talk to them on Monday. I don't know how much I have in there right now because I don't look at my statements at all. And I'm thinking, okay, if I don't touch this other one, then maybe I'll just cash out that one because I don't think it's as much. I mean, it's not a lot of money to begin with. It's 20 grand, but 20 grand in my pocket is doing me a lot better than 30 grand that I'm going to worry is going to basically evaporate overnight,
yeah.
right?
Like I I would say it's it's an option if you can make the land you purchase with that money work for you immediately, right? Like, I don't know, you buy some land next to a rancher's land and say, yeah, 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 you can pay me a small amount, very nominal fee monthly, and your cattle can graze here,
Right.
right? That it's got to start producing income. Otherwise, it's not really a lot of point.
No, see, I'm thinking of land that I can like go and build an off-grid shack and bug out to if things go south.
One day, but in the meantime, it's got to make you, it's got to produce an income
Why? If it's cost me next to nothing in taxes and
because I can't rightly tell you, yes, take out the money, pay the 10 grand, and then end up with nothing for it.
well, I won't have nothing. I'll have however many acres of land. Even if it's not making me money, it's not costing me any money because I already own it. Right? It's not going to be mortgaged. It's just going to be owned land that I'll pay us because it's undeveloped. The amount of taxes I'll pay on the land is going to be nominal. I won't even notice it coming out of the bank.
Mostly, I don't want to give you bad advice. That's it, right? And I don't want to give anybody else terrible advice either, right? But you seem pretty set on wanting to do it. And if you want to, then you probably should because owning land is never bad,
Yeah, it's not like they're making any
right?
more of it.
Exactly, right? So,
Except China, they're making more of it. They just keep putting sand in the water. Just fucking
you
build
know,
islands.
they keep putting garbage in the water and then
Yeah, and then
sand on
covering it
top.
with
Yeah.
sand. That's right. Rent it out as an Airbnb. Buy campsite, LOL. Rent it out as an Airbnb. Yeah, I mean that's the thing. I could put a couple little fucking tiny house on wheels out there and just rent it out as Airbnb. Say, come fucking stay out here under the stars in beautiful, rural Arizona and just get away from it all and look up at the fucking Milky Way at night. And
Right.
it'll only cost you $70 a night.
See, because theoretically, your ETF in an RSP should be making money,
It
right?
is.
So I don't want to tell you to not
No,
like
no,
take
it's
the money
making
out.
me money
I-
now, but for how long is it going to make
yeah,
me money? If there's a global economic collapse, it's going to mean shit. And they say, hey, we're going to finally do the great reset and we're now going to do something different. They're not going to be called dollars, they're going to be called economic credits. And it'll all be digital. And every asset you owned before will be converted into these economic credits.
what would you want on hand when the CBDC is implemented, right? Central bank digital currency,
Such yeah, exactly, yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Uh,
then if I have cash in hand, I'm like, now this isn't worth anything because it's no longer legal tender. They'd have to give me something for it. They can't just
yeah.
say, "Oh, that pile of fucking bills you have in your hand, it's you can wipe your ass with it now, and it's not worth a damn thing." They have to do something to people who hold physical assets. But maybe they're just going to say, "Well, you don't hold these physical assets. These are a representation of your ability to purchase. They don't actually align with anything physical." And since nobody has any confidence in the Canadian dollar anymore, sorry, that 20 grand may as well be 20 cents. You can buy yourself a stick of gum.
Mm. But then this, like the government will price you out of ownership by increasing the tax on the land, right?
Yeah, but I can fight the government to a degree, right? I can go and say no, there's no reason why the tax should be going up. This is undeveloped land. There's nothing on it. There's nothing nearby that would make it go up in value or go up in value whereby you have a reason to tax me higher. Personally, I don't think property taxes should be on undeveloped land. If there's nothing on it, you shouldn't have to pay property taxes
I
on it.
don't think there should be property tax at all. Property tax is the idea that you never own anything. The government owns you and you have to pay rent forever. And the
Yeah,
moment you stop paying the rent, guess what? We steal your land and your
yeah.
home.
I agree. I agree. But I understand that also, if you want infrastructure, things need to be funded. And I'm not okay with income tax. I think income tax is even worse. Uh, so, what's the other option for people who want to live in a suburbs or a city in
Goods
terms
and
of
services
having
tax.
infrastructure? What's that?
Goods and services tax.
Yeah, I guess sales taxes, gas taxes, that kind of stuff.
Right.
Property
Yeah.
taxes should be done away with. But I think in the interim, you're probably going to need them to keep infrastructure going until you abolish it. I think the first thing to abolish is income tax. I think it should be illegal for people to be charged on the money they earn.
They want everyone in the pod. Something mobile might be a good investment. Get an RV. You can live on the road.
Yep,
Yeah. We're talking road warrior times, right? Like,
that's right. I'll put a big
the
fucking
last
cow tip.
V8 Interceptor.
I'll put a cow tipper on the front with like I'll weld some fucking circular blades all over it and just mow people down.
Damn straight.
Mow the mutants down. Fucking mutants.
Yeah, I'm a little concerned, you know.
Yeah, so am I. But hey, it's only money. Can't take it with you.
Money, it's not even real anymore.
That's right.
It's not even real.
Should be backed by maple syrup. It would be a good time for a killdozer. No, it would be a good time for a regiment of killdozers. You imagine if, like, stealthily around the world, like in every major city, there's a group of people networking to say, okay, we're all going to make killdozers and we're all going to go tear down city halls. And then we're going to move on to like state capitals. And then we're going to move on to the federal capital. Can you imagine? That'd be fucking funny.
Yeah, yeah, that would be funny.
I should say that would be entertaining. How about that?
I'm
It'd be
not
it'd be an interesting time to live in. How about that?
just so YouTube and all the censors are aware, we are not currently building killdozers.
No, I can't drive a fucking killdozer. I can't drive a stick.
The killdozer convoy. Yeah, no. No parking in the streets this time. We
What
just keep
streets?
driving. Yeah.
What streets? Fine, I'll park on the lawn of Parliament.
We
Stop me, fucker.
we don't need roads.
Where we're going, we don't need roads.
Oh fuck. People are
People
trying,
are
but the
trying, but the
ubiquitous.
ubiquitous surveillance state is preventing it. Yeah, yeah, it's true. There's more cameras now than ever. Just fucking, you're walking around with one constantly, and I'm sure it's recording you. Like
Oh yeah.
even when it's powered off, it can listen to you.
Yep.
See that CIA guy talking to some? I was on some podcast. It's like, yeah, we were developing things. He had this really weird voice. We're developing things where even if your phone's turned off, you can take the battery out. I can still hear you. Like, what the fuck?
No, that was true. Way back when Snowden blew the whistle on that
Yeah,
shit, right?
yeah, because
They're like, oh,
all the
she left.
chips have their own power source, so they can fucking pick up on
Yeah,
everything.
yeah.
It's a scary time. That's why I want to. That's why I want to retreat to somewhere rural in the United States, because I'll be honest, I think as chaotic as things are, as divided as things are in the United States, I think they've got the best hope of actually coming out of it with some semblance of freedom, as messy and as like chaotic as it's going to be. I think Canada's lost, quite frankly, unless you know, unless something drastic happens to our government, it's never going to get fixed. It's
Yeah.
just going to get, we'll get a conservative government in, and all it will do is slow it, and only so slightly, because at this point we're like the snowball is rolling. It's rolling as fast as it's going to roll down the hill, and so maybe the conservatives can slow it a little bit, but not much.
Well, what we're 2 years out from the election, give or take, right? I did my hard pitch today, where they were talking about Riley Gaines and Leah Thomas, and I was like, "Oh, guess what? Canada Criminal Code, Section 320. Here, look." I pulled it up, and there. What website is this? It's like GRC.
The
Dot.
government of Canada.
Yeah,
This is
like
the government of
this is the
Canada.
government of Canada Criminal Code, and they're reading it and like, what? I'm like, yeah, unanimous assent. Every MP voted in favor of this bill. PPC is the only way. Like you, right? And they sort of like moved their heads a little bit without agreeing.
Yeah.
But like there's 2 years still. I don't know if I'm gonna get what is that, 4 people to vote that way, but
Well, the costume should be ready for election day, so don't worry about it. We don't get the result we want, we march. Democracy is an ass anyway. Fuck democracy. What was that form of government you were talking about?
anarcho monarchy.
Anarcho monarchy. That's what we fucking need. Anarcho monarchy in this motherfucker.
It's a
Sorry,
beautiful
man.
idea.
I'm gonna fucking totally deep six your channel with the shit I'm saying tonight.
No, fuck. It's fine. They're just looking for
You're worried about playing fucking song clips and YouTube clips of music videos because they're gonna give you a strike. I'm gonna get your whole fucking channel nuked, buddy.
I was trying to stay in bounds, but I don't see the point anymore with this fucking censorship bill that's coming through.
Oh yeah,
Like,
sure, right.
you know,
It hasn't passed yet, right? It's in the Senate, right? It's at the Senate
yeah,
currently.
yeah,
Yeah,
but
and
they've
some
they've
senators are speaking vociferously against it, so kudos to them. But is it going to mean a ding at the very end? Because
well, no, because they only
the Senate cannot stop the House from fucking passing a bill if they want to.
and
They
they
can
only
make
have a handful of
recommendations, they
powers to
can
debate
propose
it.
amendments, but you know what? Like at the very end of the day, if the House wants to pass the bill, they're going to pass the fucking bill. So
Yeah, it's some sick shit, and it's
D-Max says, "I don't even know how to weld yet." That's okay. You can trade. You can trade your gardening skills and your goldsmithing skills to somebody who does know how to weld, and you'll be fine.
and they'll build your killdozer.
Yeah, you'll have a marketable asset, a marketable skill, I should say. I have none of those. I can dress up in a costume.
I can walk many miles and lift things for several hours at a time.
I was gonna say, so you're getting into shape now. So, what color is your your tight fitting outfit going to be, Irving? You've got to get a superhero persona too.
It's gonna be white.
White, just
Yeah,
all white,
yeah, pretty
like
much.
a white unitard. You got to break it up with some color. What else?
I mean,
You should. You know
my
what you should make? Captain Kekistan. That would be fucking awesome.
you know what's funny? I have this flag up here, right? I absolutely fucking hate green. Like I cannot stand green. I don't wear any green clothing. Not like nothing in my home is green
See, no one would ever suspect you of being
except
Captain
plants.
Kekistan because they know how much you hate green.
It's just no, like the instinct is to go red, right? Like that somehow I still want the white and red of my nation.
Yeah, that's why
Right.
Canada has red, white, and black.
Maybe I'll just cut out the red and just go white and black.
There you go. It's like Flag Smasher. Remember that Marvel villain's Flag Smasher?
No, actually.
Oh, let me see if I can find a picture of him. One sec.
Captain Kami. No, yeah, I had been doing the joke about how you're gonna be Canada Man and I'm gonna be Berta Boy, and I'll
Yeah,
use
that's
that
right,
as
Alberta
part of
boy.
the yeah, and anytime I say something, you'll just be like, "Shut up, Berta Boy! No one cares about you."
Just pay your transfer payments and shut the hell up.
Yeah.
Gotta find a bigger picture of them. Flag Smasher was in the Falcon and Winter Soldier series, but this is how he looked. You let me share?
Yeah, yeah.
This is how he looked in the comic books. It's a cool fucking outfit. I'm not gonna lie.
Decent. Yeah,
He
yeah.
had a big old mace. I'm trying to remember his shtick. I think he was against nations. He was against all nations. He just wanted global no government or something like that.
So he's the first anarcho-capitalist.
Yeah, he's a total. I think that's what his deal was. Let me see if I can find. There's a Wikipedia. Flag Smasher is a name used by two anti-nationalist supervillains appearing in American comic books published by Marvel Comics. Carl Morgenthau and Guy Terrio. The original version was most often a foe of Captain America, while other adversaries include the Punisher, Moon Knight, Ghost Rider, the Runaways, the Libertines, and Deadpool. A group called the Flag Smashers appeared in the Marvel Cinematic Disney Plus series, The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Let me see if I can. As a character in the tradition of the Red Skull, a villain with a symbolic aspect that would make him a nemesis specifically intended for Captain America, whereas the Red Skull symbolized Nazism, Flag Smasher symbolizes anti-patriotism. The character first appeared in Captain America number 312. Let's see. Yeah. So I mean his yeah, like this one here. What? I'm not a communist. Weren't you people listening? I hate what the Soviet Union stands for as much as I hate what America stands. So he doesn't have any ideology at all. He thinks all, political ideologies are bullshit. Anyway, yeah, there you go. Flag Smasher. It's a good costume. I'm not going to lie. It's a good looking costume.
Decent. It is
Yeah.
decent.
Yeah. I mean, it's black and white, but the underside of his cape is red. So there's a
Yeah.
nice little smattering of color. Yeah, that's cool. And he's got a big fucking mace. Big spiked mace that he just beats the shit out of people with.
We need to make Ye the king of North America, and let him design us funky futuristic costumes.
That's right.
I hope he does a comfortable shoe line. Yeah, if they let him, you know.
See, I had a lot of hope for when they were developing these nano materials and these nano coatings to
Mm.
clothing and to fabrics and stuff like that. They came up with one that was completely repellent to water and antibacterial in all ways. I'm like, and this like the what do you call it? Idealist, in me was like, well, that's perfect. You only ever need one set of clothing. if you can make it durable enough that it doesn't wear out and break, like everybody wears a fucking onesie made out of this material. They never have to worry about stains. They never have to worry about it like having odor. They can literally just take it off each night when they go to bed and put it back on the next day because it doesn't hold bacteria odor. It's antibacterial. It doesn't stain. Everything just beads right the fuck off of it. Perfect. Why don't we just make all of our clothes out of this material and everybody wears the exact same fucking single onesie jumpsuit? Oh my god, no, just stop. This thing, this like it would be like THX 1138. We're all dressed the exact same. We shave our fucking heads.
I'm sorry. Do you see my shirt? This is not even the loudest of my shirts. Like,
oh, that's funny. No, I don't think that's a realistic thing. I just think that's a pretty cool. Those nanomaterials really made me go, wow, there's lots of things you could do with stuff like that.
yeah, there is, but they're not doing anything cool with them. And
No.
that is definitely not a cool thing to do.
No,
with
it's
them.
not a cool thing. It's like literally like 1984. Everybody wearing the exact same fucking
Greg,
suit.
just let King Ye figure it out. You're
Yeah,
out of your
okay.
league.
Yeah. You can do it like India, make it a caste system. So if you're wearing a certain color, you're considered a lower on the fucking totem pole.
Green is the lowest.
In India, I think it's purple. Purple's the lowest, is it not?
Really?
I think so. Could be wrong.
Oh man.
Well, what do you say, sir? Oh my god, it's already like 1:21.
Yeah. We started
Oh, we
late.
started
Last
late.
night.
That's right. Yeah. We started late. Melina's not home yet. Wow, she's out partying hard. We only have one car, so if she decides to drink, I can't fucking pick her up.
Oh no.
Oh, she's on her way home now. See you soon. What time was that at? 12:51? Yeah. So she'll be home shortly.
I'll have to start making my own clothes out of sacks at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
King Ye. Who will be his queen? Is he married anymore? He's not married anymore, is he?
Did he marry that chick? No,
I don't
he's just
know.
dating her.
I don't know. Is she anti-Semitic too?
I don't know. Apparently, he likes Jews again.
I don't think he ever really hated Jews. I think he just said, I love everybody, including Hitler. He was trying to be Christ-like. That's what he was saying. Like that was an
Yeah.
interpretation. That was an interpretation that,
It,
I mean, and the fact is, Christ called out the fucking Jews too. So
repeatedly.
that's right. He smashed their fucking, he smashed their tables in the temple.
Yeah. Weird dude. Jesus.
Yeah. Well, brother, I think I'm gonna have to call it. The wife just walked in.
Okay.
And we're getting up early tomorrow, going for breakfast. Then I got to go work out.
Oh, me too.
So, all right.
He felt the power of the Khazar milkers, and it set him straight.
Khazar milkers. I love it.
Oh, dear. Poor guy. Anyway.
The mask wearing on Alex Jones really did him in, though. But was it him? He had a mask on. How did you know it was him?
You can tell his voice.
It could have been a deep fake voice. Could have had a little deep fake voice thing. Hi, doggo. My doggo is here. Okay, guys, I'm heading out. Irving, you gonna keep going?
No, I'm calling it. We're ending the broadcast. Any last thoughts?
No.
AFK Ultra.
I was trying to think of a song lyric, but I can't think of one, so forget about it.
I don't mind the sun sometimes, the images it shows.
I don't know that song, but that's a good one.
You do, though. Trust me.
What is it?
It's Butthole Surfers.
Oh, I might know it then. Yeah, it's true. All right, folks. Thanks for having me on again. I know I'm always welcome for the Casual AF, but I appreciate you having me.
I appreciate you coming, and thanks all of you for sticking out. 2 hours late night. Geez, that was crazy. And we'll see you next week on Craig's channel. Links in the description if you don't already know. So,
Like, share, subscribe.
Hail Sigmar. Oh, I gotta hit another button.